High School, and Cornwall College. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, reconnect with loved ones on air, and let Jamaica hear how St. James is standing strong, rebuilding together. We'll be on location distributing care packages with our partners, the National Health Fund and the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, providing free health screenings and assisting with filling prescriptions. And to you, our listeners, we're asking for donations of non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and solar-powered lights, items that bring comfort and hope to families rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Every donation counts. Every act of kindness matters. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by our partners, NHF, OPM, Petrojam, Airport Authority, LMH Publishing, Ministry of Health and Wellness, NSWMA, Phoenix Vision, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Campari Group, Region 4 of the Ministry of Education, Purity Bakery, Wisinko, Maxfield Bakery, Global Inc., Deja Resort, Pier 1, Bungalow Gems, and The Pinnacle, in partnership with the Chinese community of Montego Bay.
News on the go. The latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
The hour was brought to you by the new Doritos Zinger from KFC. The delicious combination of KFC's hot and spicy Zinger and Doritos. Also available in Barbecue Zinger, limited time only. KFC Doritos Zinger, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
Ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is...
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Robianne Williams.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
In Nationwide News at this hour, former chairman of EPOC, Keith Duncan, says he does not expect the government to increase taxes in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa.
I don't see any reason why we would need to go and raise taxes at this point in time.
Details are emerging about the standoff between Nari Williams-Singh and the JCAA chairman.
The Transport Minister Darrell Vaz has recused himself as the board moves against the longtime Director General.
14 Jamaicans have died from leptospirosis.
CPFSA denies it was negligent in the disappearance of 14-year-old ward of state.
In news from the rest of the world, Venezuela has banned 6 major international airlines from landing in the country.
Soldiers in Guinea-Bissau have announced a new junta leader following coup.
In headline sports, Jamaica continues Basketball World Cup quest in Puerto Rico on Friday.
And later in our broadcast, in our cover story at 5:35, 90 cases of leptospirosis have now been confirmed in Western Jamaica. Mayors Richard Vernon and Michael Belnavis will join us to discuss control measures in their parish.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, what's your reaction to the cutting down of the JPS utility pole in St. Anne? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio, and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, the Education Ministry is introducing new, non-negotiable building standards for schools across Jamaica. Portfolio Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon will join us to discuss the new policy.
At 7, general elections are underway in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Is this the end of Ralph Gonsalves' grip on power, or will the veteran Prime Minister hold on?
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile Nationwide 90 FM, RevoNews.ai, and on the Revo News app, available on Google Play and the App Store. This Thursday afternoon, it's Thursday, November 27, 2025.
The hour is brought to you by the new Doritos Zinger from KFC. The delicious combination of KFC's hot and spicy Zinger and Doritos. Also available in Barbecue Zinger, limited time only. KFC Doritos Zinger, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Former chairman of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, Senator Keith Duncan, says he's not anticipating an increase in taxes in the next budget, despite the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Preliminary estimates indicate the Category 5 system cost the economy more than $1 trillion Jamaican dollars. This has prompted fears the government may have to increase taxes to help finance the next budget. But speaking on Nationwide's The Point Is a podcast with George Davis, Senator Duncan says he's not expecting an increase in the tax burden. Mahiri Stewart has that story.
Successive finance ministers in the Holness administration have been able to boast of no new taxes across 10 consecutive budget cycles. It's become a hallmark of the government's economic stewardship and a familiar chant during budget debates. But with Hurricane Melissa causing billions of US dollars in damage to Western Jamaica, the specter of taxes has crept into the national conversation. But Senator Duncan says while the country's debt is likely to increase, he sees no reason for an increase in taxes.
I don't see any reason why we would need to go and raise taxes at this point in time. I believe we have to evaluate the fallout, the funding from the World Catastrophe Bond, the CRIT facility, and all that. Those come in as non-tax revenues. So they fund the deficit, the gap in the budget for the next 6 months. We would have to probably take on some more debt, right? And our debt to GDP ratio could go up 70-75%, right? In order to fund that gap for the next 6 months as we recover from this.
At least one local economist, Keenan Faulkner, agrees with Duncan's assessment. Senator Duncan says the government's track record of macroeconomic stability will allow it to maneuver without taxing Jamaicans.
Now, in terms of when you frame your next budget will probably have the elements of reconstruction in there and how is that going to be funded. I don't believe that any government wants to go and tax consumption to tax businesses in this environment of a recovery. I believe that the government of Jamaica has the fiscal space, and that's what we talk about, macroeconomic stability and fiscal responsibility. Your first option does not have to be that you tax people.
The government senator says international confidence in the country's economic management is also paying dividends.
And that's why we're able to recover so much faster, like even from COVID, from Beryl. Because you have macroeconomic stability. You know what I mean? And therefore, you don't have uncertainty about our fiscal prudence, and then your cost of debt increases because nobody wants to lend you money because they know you're fiscally prudent. The pricing of Jamaica's bonds by the international markets in this period of Melissa did not budge because they have the faith and confidence that Jamaica is serious about managing its affairs in a responsible manner.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Longtime Director General of the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, Nari William Singh, has been interdicted following board allegations of unprofessional conduct. Nationwide News has seen correspondence between JCAA Chairman, retired Major General Stuart Saunders, and the Minister of Transport outlining what he considers the unsatisfactory performance of William Singh. Siobhan Campbell has this Nationwide News follow-up.
Our news center previously reported that Director General William Singh was placed on administrative leave. JCAA Chairman, retired Major General Stuart Saunders, reportedly gave no reason for the sudden decision. But a clearer picture is beginning to emerge from letters sent to the Transport Ministry and reviewed by this newsroom. The first letter is dated November 13, 2025. It says that in August, Mr. William Singh was granted approval for personal leave scheduled for November. But Major General Saunders notes that the Director General had not signed his outstanding personal evaluation report of the 2023-2024 period. He says this delay resulted from his persistent objections to unsatisfactory ratings assigned by the board. Mr. William Singh was advised that the board would review his objections and return the evaluation report. After careful review, the board said it found no reason to alter its rating. By the time of the monthly board meeting on October 23, 2025, the Director General had failed to communicate his intentions regarding the evaluation. Major General Saunders says this omission was both unusual and disrespectful. Mr. William Singh was then summoned to a meeting where it was made clear that his continued delay was unacceptable. During the meeting, the Director General maintained that he was still unsure whether the rating of unsatisfactory was justified. But the board stated that agreement was not required, and he was at liberty to append his objections. William Singh noted he was seeking advice on the matter. He was instructed to provide a written response by the end of October. But on October 28, the island was struck by Hurricane Melissa. The JCAA board activated an emergency oversight committee in light of the devastation from the hurricane. William Singh, a key member, was expected to be on the front lines of the aviation sector's recovery. Instead, the board claims he casually announced plans to go on vacation in the middle of the national disaster response. It should be noted, based on the same correspondence, that this leave was previously approved by the board. But the letter says his actions in the wake of Hurricane Melissa show a lack of respect, set a dangerous precedent for staff, and demonstrated questionable judgment by prioritizing personal travel while the aviation sector grappled with post-hurricane disruptions. The JCAA chairman says, based on the issues that have unfolded since August this year, he cannot present a favorable outlook on Mr. William Singh's tenure. In a follow-up letter dated November 20, the board says legal counsel was engaged on the matter. The board then ordered him placed on administrative leave on November 22, suspending his credentials and demanding the return of all government-issued property. Nationwide News now understands that administrative leave has been elevated to interdiction. In the civil service, interdiction is a temporary removal from duty pending disciplinary proceedings. It's further understood Portfolio Minister Darrell Vaz has recused himself from the matter, citing a familial relationship with the Director General. He's instructed Permanent Secretary Dr. Carol Palmer to handle the issue in his stead. Mr. William Singh has served as Director General of the JCAA since October 2014. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
The number of leptospirosis-related deaths have risen to 14. 10 of the deaths were recorded after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. National epidemiologist Dr. Karen Webster Carr provided the update at a media briefing on Thursday.
At this time, we would have 90 cases total for 2025, 51 pre-Melissa and 39 post-Melissa. Of the 90 for 2025, 21 were confirmed, 3 pre-Melissa and 18 post. We have had 14 leptospirosis-related deaths, 6 of which have been confirmed. 4 pre-Melissa and 10 post-Melissa, with 6 confirmed cases all being from post-Melissa.
The Health Ministry declared an outbreak of leptospirosis last Sunday. The disease is spread through water or soil contaminated by the urine of infected animals. Symptoms often include sudden onset fever, headache, chills, muscle aches, vomiting, diarrhea, and red eyes. Dr. Webster Carr says the deaths are all males.
Most affected persons are persons 20 to 29 and those 60 years and over. The deaths are all males, and males predominate with the cases and deaths. The parishes that are affected, St. James continue to have the greatest number of cases, followed by St. Anne and St. Elizabeth.
Dr. Karen Webster Carr, national epidemiologist. Meanwhile, Dr. Webster Carr says the country is below alert and epidemic thresholds for respiratory illnesses. This as cases of influenza-like and respiratory illnesses are in the normal range. Gastroenteritis, undifferentiated fever, and dengue cases are also at normal levels.
A Tier 1 field hospital is scheduled to begin operations in Westmoreland by this weekend. The facility is located on the grounds of the Savannah Lamar Hospital. Khaleesi Wright has the update from the Health Minister.
Dr. Christopher Tufton says following the destruction caused by Hurricane Melissa, field hospitals have become an important part of the government's response to ensure care continues across the sector. Field facilities have already been erected in St. Elizabeth and Trelawney. Westmoreland is now set to benefit from a field hospital donated by Barbados.
Savlamar Hospital, a Tier 2 field hospital supported by the government of Barbados, is being installed at the Savlamar Hospital as we speak. I will be in that area tomorrow, and we're hoping that by this weekend we should commission the operation of that facility. That facility should carry similar arrangements as Black River, maybe with some differences, but it is a full-fledged field hospital, and it's being supported by some personnel from Barbados as well as our local personnel.
Dr. Tufton says an outpatient facility has also been erected at the hospital.
We also have at Savlamar outpatient facility that has been set up in the form of health centers, Tier 1, and that is also treating outpatients, and that is going well. And so for Savlamar, which is one of the very difficult parishes in terms of the hurricane, we have been able to respond in terms of hospital services, and will continue so to do as we build out back the Savlamar Hospital.
The health minister says the field hospital in Black River, St. Elizabeth, has already seen more than 1,000 patients.
Up to November 18th, the facility has provided services to 1,271 persons. Of that total, 70 persons were admitted into care within the facility, and the facility is operating very well and really serving an important purpose while we seek to manage the restoration of the Black River Hospital. I want to just commend partnership between Samaritan's Purse and the local team on the ground, because they have been really delivering on the need for this very important service.
He says the Falmouth Field Hospital is seeing at least 30 patients daily. Minister Tufton says most services at the Cornwall Regional Hospital have been returned to basic operations, and the Noel Holmes Hospital in Hanover remains in operation with a steady flow of patients seeking care at the facility. Khaleesi Wright for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Dr. Tufton says Jamaica's healthcare system is set to receive critical support with the arrival of a Chinese naval hospital ship. The vessel is carrying over 100 medical professionals.
The Chinese hospital ship, the Ark Silk Road, arrived in Jamaica's territorial waters on November 22nd and is now anchored at the Pedro Keys. It will relocate to the Falmouth Pier this weekend. A total of 104 medical professionals are on board, including 60 doctors, 32 nurses, pharmacists, and technicians.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Health and Wellness Minister. Dr. Tufton says the Office of the Chief Medical Officer is now coordinating with the visiting medical team to determine the most effective way to deliver care and provide any necessary logistical support.
You're listening to Nationwide News at 5. More news after these.
See twice the style for less at IQ Optical. Buy one pair of glasses and get your second and third pair half price. Don't miss out. Call 876-929-7732 or visit IQ Optical today, where clarity never looked sharper.
The time by IQ Optical is
5:16.
Termites, rodents, or birds infesting your home or office? Call Rentokil Initial, the pest expert, at 876-926-4236 for a free pest assessment island-wide. The temperature brought to you by Rentokil Initial is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 in Montego Bay.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. JPS is urging customers not to pay anyone to have their electricity service reconnected. Customers are reminded that unauthorized reconnections can be extremely dangerous and can result in serious injury, electrocution, or damage to property. This practice is unethical, illegal, and could delay restoration efforts. If anyone claiming to represent JPS requests payment for reconnection services, report it immediately to the nearest police station or JPS. JPS thanks all customers for their patience as teams continue working to restore power safely and as quickly as possible. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
Continuing the news, the Jamaica Public Service Company JPS says power has been restored to 77% of its customers impacted by Hurricane Melissa. The Light and Power Company provided the update on its social media pages on Thursday. It says just over 163,000 customers are still without power. JPS is urging citizens not to interfere with its restoration efforts. This after vandals cut the base of a new utility pole, causing it to topple. JPS says the criminal act carried out in Bonham Springs, St. Anne plunged several surrounding communities back into darkness. The company is urging well-thinking citizens to immediately report any suspicious activity, vandalism, or signs of sabotage. JPS is set to receive a $150 million loan from the government in order to complete restoration efforts by February next year.
To a nationwide news follow-up now, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is insisting that all protocols were followed after a 14-year-old girl and 2 other female wards absconded from the Granville Place of Safety in Falmouth, Trelawney. The girls have been missing since November 20. The mother of the 14-year-old girl, Carol Bennett, is alleging neglect on the part of the state. Ms. Bennett says the facility's response has been inadequate. Robian Williams has part 2 of this follow-up story.
According to the CPFSA, the 3 girls escaped through a section of the back fence at the Granville Place of Safety. The fence had allegedly been compromised during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. A security guard reportedly saw them attempting to leave and tried to intervene, but they climbed the fence before he could reach them. Kenya Wilson's mother, Carol Bennett, alleges that her daughter was reportedly last seen at approximately 11 a.m. on November 20. But she alleges she only received notification from the facility minutes after 6 that evening. The CPFSA says it faced challenges reaching the parents due to poor cell service in the aftermath of the hurricane. The agency's CEO, Laurette Adams-Thomas, says the necessary protocols were followed.
While we understand the distress of the family, I want to reinforce that the officers at the CPFSA followed all established protocols. The matter was reported to the police. Parents and all necessary persons were notified. A missing child is a difficult experience for our family, and our hearts are with them as the search continues.
The agency says Kenya's mother had visited the facility and was told to work with the caseworker and provide a home address as she was being encouraged to take her daughter home. The agency says to date, no address has been provided. The CPFSA says the mother has been in communication with the facility's management and social workers since the incident, and that a relative visited the home on November 23 seeking additional information. An Ananda alert for Kenya was issued on November 25, which the CPFSA says was posted on its WhatsApp channel and partner billboards across the island. The agency says it was unable to conduct its usual search as a home address was not provided by the family. Mrs. Adams-Thomas says security updates are planned for the facility.
There are also 3 security personnel on each shift at the facility. One of our objectives is to strengthen our security mechanisms by installing motion sensors on the perimeter fencing, as well as to install CCTV cameras that we intend to link to Jamaica Eye. These enhanced security measures were to have actually commenced already, but are delayed due to the passage of the hurricane.
The CPFSA says it remains committed to assisting the police investigation and offering psychosocial support to the family. Robian Williams for Nationwide News.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
Venezuela has banned 6 major international airlines from landing in the country after they failed to meet a 48-hour deadline to resume flights there. The airlines had suspended their routes into the capital Caracas after the U.S. warned of what it said was heightened military activity in the area. In response, the Venezuelan government issued the carriers with an ultimatum that expired on Wednesday. Venezuela's Civil Aviation Authority announced that Iberia, TAP, Portugal, GOL, LATAM, Avianca, and Turkish Airlines would lose their landing and takeoff rights with immediate effect.
Soldiers in Guinea-Bissau on Thursday announced a new junta leader for the country, cementing a forceful takeover of power that began after Sunday's presidential election. The military high command inaugurated a general as the head of the military government. The general was the army chief of staff until the coup and a close ally of deposed President Umaro Embalo. Embalo was seeking a rare second term. His whereabouts remain unknown on Thursday. He told French media Wednesday that he had been arrested by soldiers as gunshots rang out near the presidential palace.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, former chairman of EPOC, Keith Duncan, says he does not expect the government to increase taxes in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa.
I don't see any reason why we would need to go and raise taxes at this point in time.
Details are emerging about the standoff between Nari Williams-Singh and the JCAA chairman.
Transport Minister Darrell Vaz has recused himself as the board moves against the long-time Director General.
14 Jamaicans have died from leptospirosis.
I'm Roby-Ann Williams.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
You can find the news on our website at revonews.ai and on the Revo News app. It's available on Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
The hour was brought to you by the new Doritos Zinger from KFC. The delicious combination of KFC's hot and spicy Zinger and Doritos. Also available in Barbecue Zinger, limited time only. KFC Doritos Zinger, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
We in this together, hands on hearts spread wide. We know things will get better, working side by side. We in this together, rebuilding homes and lives, no matter the weather. You are not alone.
Sagicor is contributing over $200 million to Jamaica's Hurricane Melissa recovery. We're also standing by our clients. If you're a client in need of support, call 888-SAGICOR.
Jamaica, we have weathered many storms. Sometimes a helping hand makes all the difference.
That's why the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is working tirelessly, along with parish disaster committees, the Jamaica Defence Force, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, government agencies and the private sector, and other valued local and international partners, bringing relief to thousands of families affected by Hurricane Melissa. Together we rebuild. Together we emerge stronger. For further information, call our Client Care Centre at 876-922-8013. Send us a WhatsApp message at 876-582-8972 or 876-849-8614 or email us at clientcare@mlss.gov.jm.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security, the People's Ministry, leaving no one behind.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Javert Royal slammed an impressive 124 of 107 balls as the Jamaica Scorpions, they recovered from 87 for 7 to make 231 all out against the Windward Islands Volcanoes in the fifth and final round of the region, fifth and final preliminary round of the regional Super 50 tournament now on at the Brian Lara Stadium in Trinidad. Royal cracked 11 sixes and 4 fours. The next best score was 22 by Carlos Brown and a 21 from the captain Brad Barnes. The Volcanoes in reply, they were 26 without loss after 6 overs at sports time. In the meantime, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force and the Barbados Pride, they'll contest the final of the championship, and this will be on Saturday at the Brian Lara Stadium in Couva. The Red Force booked their spot on Thursday after beating the Leeward Islands Hurricanes by 8 wickets over at the Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad with 41 balls remaining. The Red Force, they were set 214 to win, and they reached a target on the back of 2 brilliant innings. One from Tian Webster, who made 83, and Amir Django is back in the team after injury. He made 72 not out. Jamar Hamilton had earlier slammed a 71 as the Hurricanes were dismissed for 213 in the 49th over. The Pride reached the final despite having their game against the Guyana Harpy Eagles abandoned without a ball bowled, and the game was scheduled today for the Sir Frank Worrell ground. Some football news now. Defending Manning Cup champions Kingston College and reigning the Costa Cup title holders Garvey Maceo will both be in action on Friday as Easter Schoolboy football returns. After Hurricane Melissa, KC will face Campion College in the first game of a Jamaica College doubleheader. That one is starting at 2 o'clock. The North Street Giants are aiming to maintain the momentum they continue their title defense. Their head coach, Vassareno, stressed the importance of the fixture, describing it as, quote, a must-win encounter for his team after defeat to Hydel in the first game of their round of 16 encounter. Vassareno spoke with us at Nationwide Sports on Thursday.
At Kingston College, we would have done our best to get the boys as prepared as we can. And based on the mood in the camp, we are pretty confident that what we would have done, they will give a good account of themselves. It's a must-win situation for us, and they are aware. We're hoping that they will go out on the pitch and execute to the best of their ability come tomorrow.
That's Vassareno's coach of Kingston College. In the feature game at the same venue, host Jamaica College, they'll take on St. Jago High. In other games on the day in the Manning Cup, Tivoli Gardens, they'll play Wolmers in the first game of a doubleheader at the Waterhouse Mini Stadium at 2. The second game will see Excelsior taking on St. Andrew Technical High School. You know that particular fixture is a repeat of the 1987 final at the stadium where Stats ran out 6-1 winners. Host St. George's College, they'll welcome the visit at Vauxhall, and that game is at 4 o'clock following a 2 o'clock encounter between Charlie Smith and St. Catherine High, while in the games kicking off at 3 o'clock, Calabar will welcome Hydel and Eltham High will play Mona, a game over at Prison Oval. In the Costa Cup, Garvey Maceo High, they'll take on Magotty at the Wembley Centre of Excellence in May Pen. It's set to kick off at 3 o'clock, and their head coach, that's Garvey Maceo's head coach, Lester Hibbert. He spoke with Nationwide Sports a short time ago, and he noted that since they got back into training, most of their focus has been on the mental preparation.
The preparation has been going on well so far for 2 weeks, but basically we have to just be focusing on the mental part of the boys. Some of them were affected by the hurricane itself, and based on a situation that were out of our control, like that being without light and water by the school, they kind of hinder us. So after getting him back together now, we try to get in some sharpness. You know, so after 3 days or 72 hours, reversibility. Some of the boys went right back to square one, so it was like starting over back a whole pre-season training. Then you had to take into factor how you try to manage them. You can't be pushing their bodies. So it's been here and there, but we can't question it. But it's looking good so far.
Yeah, that's Lester Hibbert. And the Costa Cup will have its full schedule on Saturday. Finally, in sports at this time, Jamaica will open their campaign in Group B of the FIBA Basketball World Cup Americas qualifiers. On Friday, they take on Puerto Rico at the Roberto Clemente Coliseum in San Juan. The tie was initially to be a home and away fixture, with Jamaica set to host the first game. However, an unsuccessful inspection in September by the world governing body FIBA of the Montego Bay Convention Center and the National Indoor Sports Center in Kingston meant JABA was forced to forego hosting rights, and the court at the National Indoor Sports Center was approved and other modification to the venue could have been completed, but the $3.5 million installation of a new scoreboard was too costly for JABA to complete within the necessary time frame. Puerto Rico, they've agreed to host both legs. They'll cover the cost of accommodation, meals, and ground transportation for the Jamaicans. Head coach of the Jamaica team, Rick Turner, spoke with Nationwide Sports a short time ago as well, and says he's aware of the uphill task the team will face to get into the top 3.
We have a heavy lift in front of us. We have definitely the toughest pool of any of the teams. We're in the pool with Puerto Rico, who was competed in the last Olympics, 12th in the world. We were in the pool with Canada, who competed in the last Olympics. I believe they were 7th in the world. And we're competing with the Bahamas, who was 1 game away from being in the Olympics in 2024. So, but this is what we ask for, right? Like, if you want to compete on the biggest stage, you've got to beat the best teams, and we don't want anything more than that.
And the game tips off at 6:10 Jamaica time on Friday evening. That's sports. We're going to be back with much more at 6:05.
Sports at 5 was brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
For all your custom framing, printing, graphic design, and purchase of art, Make It Frame Art Jamaica Limited, serving you for over 40 years. The time by Frame Art Jamaica is
5:34.
From Kingston to the world, from Montego Bay to new adventures, and from Ocherias to endless possibilities. Wherever you're headed, we will proudly take you there. Jamaica's Airport, your global gateway. The temperature brought to you by the Airports Authority of Jamaica is
29 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital, Kingston. It's 28 in the western city, Montego Bay.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
SCL Jamaica Limited is having a big blowout sale. Up to 70% off on Milwaukee tools. From power drills to saws, their top-notch Milwaukee tools will handle any project with ease. Hurry to SCL Jamaica Limited at Block L, Sagicor Industrial Center, 7 Norman Road, or call 876-938-1397 for more details. Sale runs November 10 to 28. Terms and conditions apply. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Sherwin-Williams brings you Colors of Hope. From November 28th to December 20th, brighten your world with 20% off select decorative paints and drive with confidence with 15% off automotive paints. Because hope starts with color. Visit your nearest Sherwin-Williams store today and let your colors tell a story of hope. Don't wait. These savings won't last forever. Sherwin-Williams, bringing hope to life.
Doritos and KFC, cheesy, delicious, crunchy. New collaboration, run the country. Doritos Zinger, hot and spicy. Doritos nacho cheese chips, cheddar cheese sauce. We not leave it. KFC with the extra crunch. The new Doritos Zinger, I want for lunch. The new KFC Doritos Zinger, the delicious combination of KFC's hot and spicy zinger and the irresistible flavor of Doritos. Available for a limited time. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi. You're rolling with we are easy breezy. For the Christmas, you know you're rolling in style. Merry moments with Mitsubishi. Merry moments, fire a sport Outlander, we cruising. Win cool gifts with the vehicle you're choosing. Eclipse cross with the family you're moving. Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi. Outlander, sport key and a Christmas tree. Grand prize win a staycation for 2. Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi.
Conditions apply.
help you take a better route. Become a mentor in the Ministry of Justice Child Diversion Program. To become a mentor, you must be a Jamaican citizen over 18 years old, literate, with at least a secondary level education, have at least 1 year working experience, be willing to volunteer for at least 1 year, and be non-partisan, confidential, and a person of integrity. Download the application form at moj.gov.jm and submit to any child diversion office island-wide. For more details, call the ministry at 888-JUSTICE. That is 888-587-8423. Help a youth take a better route. Join the Child Diversion Mentorship Program today.
St. James, we're coming to you. This Friday, November 28th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team continues our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series, broadcasting live from Anchovy High School and Cornwall College. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, reconnect with loved ones on air, and let Jamaica hear how St. James is standing strong, rebuilding it together. We'll be on location distributing care packages with our partners, the National Health Fund and the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, providing free health screenings and assisting with filling prescriptions. And to you, our listeners, we're asking for donations of non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and solar-powered lights, items that bring comfort and hope to families rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Every donation counts. Every act of kindness matters. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by our partners, NHF, OPM, Petrojam, Airport Authority, LMH Publishing, Ministry of Health and Wellness, NSWMA, Phoenix Vision, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Campari Group, Region 4 of the Ministry of Education, Purity Bakery, Wisinko, Maxfield Bakery, Global Inc., Deja Resort, Pier 1, Bungalow Gems, and The Pinnacle in partnership with the Chinese community of Montego Bay.
Cover Story is brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use Multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere, spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multi-link logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multi-link?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide at 5. It's time for the cover story. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has confirmed 90 cases of leptospirosis. National epidemiologist Dr. Karen Webster Carr highlighted that the most recent post-Melissa figures for the suspected and confirmed cases include 14 in St. James, 8 in St. Anne, and 4 cases in St. Elizabeth.
Well, for discussion on measures needed to control the spread of leptospirosis, we're being joined by the mayors, Richard Vernon and Michael Belnavis, to discuss measures. Good afternoon, mayors.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you both. So, please, mayors, I understand we have outbreak developing in the parishes. What's the situation on the ground? How many cases are being reported in your subsequent areas? My apologies.
Okay, I'm aware of 14 as per the Ministry of Health information, because through the surveillance system, they get the updates, and of course that information trickles down to the St. Health Services. So we have 14 so far, including the ones that are not confirmed as yet. So that's the number that we have working at the moment.
And you, Mayor Belnavis, what's the situation on the ground there?
Yeah, the report that I'm getting from with our health department that we have one confirmed situation in the Pyrrhus parish of St. Anne. There may be some suspect cases, but first being confirmed at this moment is one.
So you have one confirmed case?
Yes, that is correct.
And
that's what our health department.
You're breaking up there a little. We'll try to connect with you again, Mayor Belnavis, because this is very important. We seem to be having a little issue with the line there. But Mayor Vernon, based on the number of cases out there in St. James, what are the measures being taken on the ground in terms of ensuring that the people, as we understand, going through a crisis, have access to clean, potable water?
Yes, I mean, it's more than that. We experience significant flooding in St. James, and flooding comes with several nuances, including the spread of different types of diseases in this particular case, leptospirosis, and it's not necessarily associated with rats, but other carriers are there, including animals, ruminants, urine from ruminants, and that sort of thing. So when everything gets mixed up in the flood, then you have that sort of situation. So we have definitely gone ahead long before now to do the sensitization, because we are afraid with these types of events where when you have a flood, these things will follow. So we were doing the sensitization in several communities. The St. James Health Services, through the community health aid, and the public health officers went into the communities to engage the community members right across the municipality. That's one. Two, we have been testing all our water sources that are on record, or minor water supply systems from the St. James Municipal Corporation, other into springs, places where persons are actually getting water from, but they're unregulated. So we've been testing that. We have not yet confirmed the results, but so far we have satisfactory updates from that. But as soon as the information returns from the lab, then if we have to shut down some systems, we'll have to shut them down. And the other thing is, we work closely with the health services. We're screening and monitoring of several areas is concerned. And once we get that information, then we get the Solid Waste Management Authority to focus in those areas to rid the area of garbage. So those are the three key strategies that we have employed to deal with the situation so far.
And in terms of resources on the ground, Mayor, is there anything else that you need? Because I suspect that the health workers are quite tasked at this moment. How are things in terms of the resources?
We need more resources, of course. This is an unprecedented event. We have had two unprecedented events in one. The Melissa herself displacing several residents, disrupting water supply systems, and the second being unprecedented flood in the Catronal West Green area. I've never had anything like that. In fact, this is our biggest flood on record in terms of impact and the number of persons affected. So to respond to this, we have been using our usual resources, but have joined up the approach with other agencies. So, for example, the usual number that we would have for the health workers out there doing fogging, for example, sensitization, that is supported by other entities, and the groups that have came in over the recent weeks to assist. For example, Doctors Without Borders, they have been out there distributing hygiene kits and helping with the sensitization drive. So we are getting some support where that is concerned, but we do need more support to manage the situation over an extended period of time until we can bring it to some level of stability.
Hold the line for us, gentlemen. We're up on the break. We're talking to the mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, and the mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Belnavis. After the break.
Doritos and KFC, cheesy, delicious, crunchy. New collaboration, run the country. Doritos Zinger, hot and spicy. Doritos nacho cheese chips, cheddar cheese sauce. We not leave it. KFC with the extra crunch. The new Doritos Zinger, I want for lunch. The new KFC Doritos Zinger, the delicious combination of KFC's hot and spicy zinger and the irresistible flavor of Doritos. Available for a limited time. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Pan select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
This is a public service announcement from the Transport Authority. The Transport Authority wishes to advise you, our valuable customers, that our mobile unit will be available in your area on Wednesday, November 26, 2025 and Friday, November 28, 2025 at the Sagicor Complex in Freeport, Montego Bay from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The following services will be offered: application for new and renewal of road licenses online, badge application and exam. Please be reminded that the authority does not accept cash payment. We look forward to serving you. That was an important announcement from the Transport Authority. We have with us the mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, and the mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Belnavis. The Ministry of Health is confirming 90 cases of leptospirosis, 14 in St. James, 8 in St. Anne, and 4 cases in St. Elizabeth. Mayor Belnavis, what's the garbage collection situation like across the parish of St. Anne? The garbage collection situation.
Oh, the garbage. Okay, we've been on the arena. There has been people have been putting up garbage, just dumping them out there. So the issue, we have issues of transportation. So the garbage individuals rip up the garbage. But the call has been out there, and they were making the call from last week to go ahead and contain the garbage properly. So the garbage men and people, and then because of hurricane, people are dumping and stripping garbage that's put up. So it's there is even now for bulk with garbage pickup. So there's a concern there. Challenge here for solid to effectively. Mayor,
no, the line is pretty bad, Mayor. We're not hearing it clearly. We're going to try to sort that out. Mayor Vernon, what about you? What's the situation for garbage collection in St. James?
It has been slow, but we have an approach to deal with waste management in general. And let me tell you, for the record, one reason it has been slow. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, WPM office, Western Parks and Market, we usually plan where we have the hurricane watch to pre-position our units at a particular location. But that particular location is a Catching Stadium. Mm-hmm. And they pre-position the compactor trucks, cranes, and one tip-up at the Catching Stadium. It has so happened that the entire area flooded, including the trucks. Immediately after the flood, 6 trucks were down. We got some assistance from Kingston. They sent down 10 trucks for a day. And they went back, of course. So we weren't able to catch up as how we would have liked. But we have managed now to move the units across several communities, larger communities, the Bogue area, sections of Westgate Hills, Coral Gardens, and several other sections. And as I mentioned before, some of the ones that were screened and are under monitoring by the St. James Services, we made deliberate attempts to clear those areas. And now we are trying to gradually move back to the regular scheduling, where each community will now know when it's their pickup time, so they can put their garbage out at that time and try as best as possible to stick to it.
We also will be getting some support from neighboring municipalities with the trucks. Tomorrow, we'll be getting 10, so we'll have 17 functional trucks right across the municipality of St. James, trying to mop up the backlog. We can bring it up to current, or try as best as possible to go to that target as close as possible. And as for the other waste, and I'm referring there to the regular domestic waste. As for other waste, I call it Melissa waste.
Mm-hmm.
The broken trees, all the different things associated with the bulky waste. There are 3 different types, so the regular hurricane waste and the bulky waste. So we have been moving bulky waste, and that has been steady thus far. And the Melissa waste, we have allocated $51 million from the St. James Municipal Corporation, and this is through our special grants for repairs and emergency fund that we normally use when we have emergencies. So we did emergency cleaning and all the emergency associated operations. Repair roadways, move garbage, you name it, and it was $3 million per division. Now the Prime Minister has allocated an additional $10 million per member of Parliament, and I also understand that more will be allocated for constituencies within Western Jamaica that were significantly impacted by the hurricane, about 16 constituencies, I understand. So that will double down on the efforts that we are making and the headway we are making in clearing the waste generally. And as I speak, we have had night operations in some communities, and the operation in some communities, we have 1 tipper truck with a backhoe moving through communities, clearing roadways. We also noticed a person tend to clear up their yard and dump the waste outside the gate or outside their walls. So we have to now be going through these communities and clearing. That's unfortunate, but it's a reality that we have to be dealing with. They just expect government to come and clear it instead of, let me take it to dump. We have also set up temporary dump sites to facilitate the quick movement of drop-off, so from community to the temporary dump site, and then from the temporary dump site to the landfill, because the landfill usually processes about 70 truckloads per day, and now has to be dealing with 400 truckloads per day, so it is overwhelming for the landfill at retirement. So we have to be strategizing around it to move around the waste in such a way that it is reducing the public health risk, cleaning the communities, and at the same time providing some level of efficiency in the movement of waste across the municipality. But we have been managing thus far. Much more can be done, and we are trying. We are pushing hard.
So tell me, Mayor, in terms of the flooding situation, I know it's been a month since the hurricane, but I know there have been some level of rain since. Are there areas still in your parish that are still inundated, or has the water receded?
The water has receded. All the major sections. The river at Seven Rivers, for example, Cambridge, that was running over the roadway and the bridge for several days following Melissa. It has receded. It has now been turned into a water site for potable water. We set up a processing plant there with the help of Red Cross Jamaica and Red Cross from France. And we were there yesterday for the handing over to the community to ensure that they can come fill up their water jug with drinking water. And testament, I had my cup of water. Actually, I had 2 cups of water from it. So it's coming directly from that river to your cup. And for the other areas, we had flooding in Catronall. We also have flooding in Estuary. And in the Catronall area, for example, we had a long elaboration of water settling between Catronall and the National Supply, National Bakery. The development between National Bakery and the Catronall Stadium, we had water within that section setting for an elaborated period. But we are working on that. It's a drainage situation that we're having there. Much of the drain is heavily silted at this point, but we don't have the setting of water in other sections, so much so that it would pose significant risk to the communities close by.
And Mayor Bill Davis, I understand we have you on. Could you give us a breakdown as to how cleanup activities are going in St. Ann?
Well, what I'm finding is that we did some work with the officers right through the divisions both pre-Melissa, pre and post-Melissa. And we went ahead and did clean up. And we had one lane of traffic with pretty much all the districts in St. Ann, right after the hurricane. So the cleanup has been going, in Oturas, it's down the coast between Scupper Bay, Run, and so on. We've been able to clean up the entire area. You wouldn't even know the hurricane. So much so that we were able to work the ships this week.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mayor Belnavis, but we're not hearing you clearly at all. The line is breaking up. But can I thank you, gentlemen, both for your time? Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks and same to you.
Mayor Richard Vernon of Montego Bay. We had with us Mayor Michael Belnavis, but problem with the connection, not hearing very clearly. But essentially, both men are saying that they're doing their best to ensure that garbage collection happens, the cleanup of the bulky waste. Their parishes are facing an increase in leptospirosis cases, 14 in St. James, 8 in St. Ann. There are 4 cases in St. Elizabeth. Yeah, the headlines are next.
Cover Story was brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
6 o'clock.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening with the headlines at 6. I'm Shalois Michael. A 53-year-old St. Catherine man has been charged with murdering his 80-year-old mother. Paolo Grant was charged after the decomposing body of his elderly mother, Jasmine Grant, was found inside the home he was staying. Reports from the Linstead Police are that on November 19, residents called the police, having not seen the elderly woman in several days. It's understood her son granted lawmen access to the premises and confessed to the killing. The elderly woman's body was found in a state of decomposition with several wounds to the head. Grant was charged in the presence of his attorney. A Tier 1 field hospital is scheduled to begin operations in Westmoreland by this weekend. That's according to Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton.
Savlamar Hospital, a Tier 2 field hospital supported by the government of Barbados, is being installed at the Savlamar Hospital as we speak. I will be in that area tomorrow, and we're hoping that by this weekend we should commission the operation of that facility. That facility should carry similar arrangements as Black River, maybe with some differences, but it is a full-fledged field hospital, and it's being supported by some personnel from Barbados as well as our local personnel.
Meanwhile, Dr. Tufton says Jamaica's healthcare system is set to receive critical support with the arrival of a Chinese naval hospital ship. The vessel is carrying over 100 medical professionals.
The Chinese hospital ship, the Ark Silk Road, arrived in Jamaica's territorial waters on November 22nd and is now anchored at the Pedro Keys. It will relocate to the Falmouth Pier this weekend. A total of 104 medical professionals are on board, including 60 doctors, 32 nurses, pharmacists, and technicians.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. The number of leptospirosis-related deaths have risen to 14. 10 of the deaths were recorded after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. National epidemiologist Dr. Karen Webster Carr provided the update at a media briefing on Thursday.
At this time, we would have 90 cases total for 2025, 51 pre-Melissa and 39 post-Melissa. Of the 90 for 2025, 21 were confirmed, 3 pre-Melissa and 18 post. We have had 14 leptospirosis-related deaths, 6 of which have been confirmed. 4 pre-Melissa and 10 post-Melissa, with 6 confirmed cases, all being from post-Melissa.
The Health Ministry declared an outbreak of leptospirosis last Sunday. The disease is spread through water or soil contaminated by the urine of infected animals. Dr. Webster Carr says the deaths are all males.
Most affected persons are persons 20 to 29 and those 60 years and over. The deaths are all males, and males predominate with the cases and deaths. The parishes that are affected, St. James continue to have the greatest number of cases, followed by St. Anne and St. Elizabeth.
Dr. Karen Webster Carr, National Epidemiologist. The governing JLP has cancelled its annual party conference. Chairman of the JLP Communication Task Force, Senator Abka Fitz-Henley, says the decision was made to focus on assisting with the post-Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts.
I can confirm that the Standing Committee of the Jamaica Labour Party met on November 18, 2025 and took a decision to cancel this year's staging of the party's annual conference. That decision is to be referred to the Central Executive, which is to meet on December 7 this year. Of course, the decision to cancel this year's staging of the party's annual conference is intended to ensure that the Jamaica Labour Party's energies stay focused on assisting our Jamaican brothers and sisters to recover stronger from the impact of Hurricane Melissa.
Senator Abka Fitz-Henley, chairman of the JLP Communication Task Force. Former chairman of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, Senator Keith Duncan, says he's not anticipating an increase in taxes in the next budget despite the impact of Hurricane Melissa.
I don't see any reason why we would need to go and raise taxes at this point in time. I believe we have to evaluate the fallout, the funding from the World Catastrophe Bond, the CREATE facility, and all that. Those come in as non-tax revenues. Mm-hmm. So they fund the deficit, the gap in the budget for the next 6 months. Yes. We would have to probably take on some more debt, right? And our debt to GDP ratio could go up 70-75%, right? In order to fund that gap for the next 6 months as we recover from this.
Preliminary estimates indicate the Category 5 system cost the economy more than $1 trillion Jamaican dollars. But Senator Duncan says the government's track record of macroeconomic stability will allow it to maneuver without taxing Jamaicans.
Now, in terms of when you frame your next budget will probably have the elements of reconstruction in there and how is that going to be funded. I don't believe that any government wants to go and tax consumption, to tax businesses in this environment of a recovery. I believe that the government of Jamaica has the fiscal space, and that's what we talk about, macroeconomic stability and fiscal responsibility. Your first option does not have to be that you tax people.
Senator Keith Duncan, former chairman of EPOC. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Shaloy Smikle. Sports is next.
For over 30 years, Chris and Charles has been financing your goals, dreams, creating your great moments. Celebrate the occasion with us. borrow $1 million, pay less than $25,000 monthly, and get 30% off your processing fees. No guarantor needed. Call 876-920-4189 or WhatsApp 876-838-9028. Conditions apply. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. JPS is urging customers not to pay anyone to have their electricity service reconnected. Customers are reminded that unauthorized reconnections can be extremely dangerous and can result in serious injury, electrocution, or damage to property. This practice is unethical, illegal, and could delay restoration efforts. If anyone claiming to represent JPS requests payment for reconnection services, report it immediately to the nearest police station or JPS. JPS thanks all customers for their patience as teams continue working to restore power safely and as quickly as possible. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
Run for rights, give for relief. Join Jamaicans for Justice at the Run for Rights 5K Run Walk, November 30, 6 a.m. sharp at the Police Officers Club, Kingston. Choose your cause: human rights, child rights, climate justice, or ending gender-based violence. Only $2,500 to enter. Medals, trophies, and more. Register now at my.raceresult.com/355144. Part proceeds in aid of hurricane relief. You can bring your essential items on race day. Every donation counts. Call 876-239-7583 for details.
Good evening with your sports report. I'm Alex Wibby. We both things off with some cricket as Javier Royal slammed an impressive 124 off 107 balls as the Jamaica Scorpions recovered from 87 for 7 to make 231 all out against the Windward Islands Volcanoes in the fifth and final preliminary round game of the Regional Super 50 Cup, now on at the Brian Lara Stadium. Royal cracked 11 sixes and 4 fours. The next best score was 22 by Carlos Brown and 21 by Brad Barnes. The Volcanoes, in reply, reached 66 for 3 after 12 overs at sports time. Meanwhile, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force and Barbados Pride will contest Saturday's final of the Regional Super 50 Cup at the Brian Lara Stadium. The Red Force booked their ticket to the final on Thursday after beating the Leeward Islands Hurricanes by 8 wickets at Queen's Park Oval with 41 balls remaining. The Red Force was set 214 to win and reached the target on the back of 2 brilliant innings from Tian Webster 83 and Amir Jangu 72. Jamir Hamilton had earlier slammed 71 as the Hurricanes were dismissed for 213 in 49 overs. The Pride reached the final despite having their game against the Guyana Harper Eagles abandoned without a ball bowled at Sir Frank Royal Ground. Now, the West Indies all-format coach Darren Sammy says despite losing the 2 white ball series against New Zealand, he's optimistic the team will raise its level in the 3-match test series. West Indies lost the T20 series 3-1 and the ODIs 3-0. With 4 days to go before the first test in Christchurch, Sammy says preparations are going well.
Obviously, the series, we created so many opportunities to win. When I look at the 7 games that were played, we were in contention to win 5 of them. We let it slip away, but credit must go to New Zealand, you know, how they've made home a fortress. But I was quite impressed with the positives that we had coming out of that series. Now, you know, the test match arena, and we've not won here since 1995. I'm thinking that's about 30 years, you know, so we have a challenge on our hands. But I was just saying these guys prepared. The intensity at training today is something that we've spoken about.
Sammy added that the mindset of the team is positive and he believes the West Indies have the tools to end a 3-decade wait for a victory in New Zealand.
We might not have, you know, the numbers behind us coming into New Zealand, but I think the mindset that we have here and what we're trying to create is good, and it boils down to execution, a word I've been using from my career, my playing days, my captaincy days. You execute well here in New Zealand. One thing we've shown over here, we challenge them. In the T20 series, in the ODI series, I don't think the result reflected on how we played. So again, it's the test series. Being able to survive and challenge the new ball, you know, with both bat and ball, you know, and being able to make critical decisions or better decisions.
Darren Sammy. Now to footballers. Defending Manning Cup champions Kingston College and reigning Da Costa Cup holders Garvey Masia will both be in action on Friday as the Issa schoolboy football season resumes with several key matchups. Casey will face Campion College in the first game of a Jamaica College doubleheader starting at 2 p.m. The North Street Giants are aiming to maintain momentum as they continue their title defense. Head coach Vassal Reynolds stressed the importance of the fixture, describing it as a must-win encounter for his team after defeat to Dahidel in the first round of 16 encounter.
At Kingston College, we would have done our best to get the boys as prepared as we can. And based on the mood in the camp, we are pretty confident that what we would have done, they will give a good account of themselves. It's a must-win situation for us, and they are aware. We're hoping that they will go out on the pitch and execute to the best of their ability come tomorrow.
In the feature game at the same venue, host Jamaica College will square off against St. Jago High. In other games on the day, in the Manning Cup, Tivoli Gardens play Woolmers in the first match of a doubleheader at Waterhouse Stadium at 2 p.m. The second match will feature Stats against Excelsior at 4. Host St. George's College will welcome the visit of Vauxhall at 4 p.m. following the 2 o'clock encounter between Charlie Smith and St. Catherine High. While in games kicking off at 3, Calabar welcome Hydel and Eltham play Mona at the Prison Oval Field. Over in the Da Costa Cup, Garvey Masia High will battle Magati High at the Wembley Centre of Excellence at 3 p.m. Head coach Lester Hibbert noted that since returning to training, the team has placed strong emphasis on mental preparation.
The preparation has been going on well so far for 2 weeks. But basically, we have to just be focusing on the mental part of the boys. Some of them were affected by the hurricane itself, and based on a situation that were out of our control, like that being without light and water by the school, they kind of hinder us. So after getting him back together now, we try to get in some sharpness. So after 3 days or 72 hours, reversibility. Some of the boys went right back to square one, so it was like starting over back a whole pre-season training. Then you had to take into factor how you try to manage them. You can't be pushing their body. So it's been here and there. But we can't question it. But it's looking good so far.
Lester Hibbert. Theodore Whitmore, head coach of Mount Pleasant, stated that there are a few areas in which he believes the St. team can improve ahead of their second leg clash with Universidad O&M in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. Mount Pleasant will take a 1-0 lead into next Tuesday's fixture at the National Stadium.
So it's for us now to really go back home and do our homework. We have some stuff to take care of. So without giving away anything, we'll be ready for the next tie. So it's just for us to go away next week and pull it off.
According to Whitmore, he wasn't entirely pleased with how the attackers performed in front of goal. Hence, that's an area he hopes to tighten during the training sessions leading up to the next match.
Well, I think it would have to be in the final third, our decision making, our execution. That's going to be the key for the next tie. Well, it would mean a lot to we as a club, the technical staff, the management, the owner, the St. people at large, and Jamaica people at large. I think we deserve it.
Theodore Whitmore. Now, goalkeeper Leah Brooks has been drafted into the Jamaica National Senior Women's Football Squad ahead of their opening 2027 Women's FIFA World Cup qualifying match against Dominica set for the Darren Sammy Stadium on Saturday. Team officials say Brooks' inclusion strengthens Jamaica's defensive unit at a pivotal moment as the squad looks to set an early tone in Group B. The Reggae Girls have been drawn into a competitive group and will continue their qualifying journey with an away fixture against Nicaragua on March 2, 2026. They will then return home for 2 crucial encounters, April 10 against Antigua and Barbuda, followed by April 18 against Guyana. Brooks' addition signals Jamaica's intent to field their strongest possible lineup as they chase a 3rd consecutive World Cup appearance. Jamaican international Leon Bailey came on as a 78-minute substitute and provided the assist that led to the winning goal as AS Roma tagged FC Midtjylland off Denmark 2-1 in their Europa Cup clash at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome on Thursday. Bailey, who missed the last 3 weeks due to injury, teed up Stefan El Shaoui inside the box for the 83rd minute winner, which moved Roma 4 places up the standings after their 3rd victory of the campaign. Despite the defeat, Midland remained joint leaders as this was their first defeat in 5 games. In other games, Bailey's parent club Aston Villa beat Young Boys 2-1, FC Porto tagged Nice 3-0 and Celtic were 3-0 winners over Feyenoord. Now to basketball, as Jamaica will open their campaign in Group B of the FIBA Basketball World Cup Americas qualifiers on Friday when they face Puerto Rico at the Robert Clements Coliseum in San Juan. The tie was initially to be a home and away fixture, with Jamaica set to host the first game. However, an unsuccessful inspection in September by World Governing Body FIBA of the Montego Bay Convention Center and the National Indoor Sports Center in Kingston meant JABA was forced to forego hosting. The court at the National Indoor Sports Center was approved and other modification to the venue could have been completed, but the $3.5 million installation of a new scoreboard was too costly for JABA to complete within the necessary time frame. Puerto Rico agreed to host both legs and will cover the cost of accommodation, meals, and ground transportation for the Jamaican team. Only 3 of the 4 teams in the group will advance to the second round of World Cup qualifying. Jamaica are the lowest ranked team at 19th in the region, with Puerto Rico sitting at number 5. Head coach Rick Turner told Nationwide Sports that he's aware that it will be an uphill task for Jamaica to be among the top 3.
We have a heavy lift in front of us. We have definitely the toughest pool of any of the teams. We're in the pool with Puerto Rico, who was competed in the last Olympics, 12th in the world. We were in the pool with Canada, who competed in the last Olympics. I believe they were 7th in the world. And we're competing with the Bahamas, who was 1 game away from being in the Olympics in 2024. So, but this is what we ask for, right? Like, if you want to compete on the biggest stage, you've got to beat the best teams. And we don't want anything more than that.
Rick Turner. And finally, the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission, JADCO, is strengthening its role in the global fight against doping through a new partnership with the Anti-Doping Agency in Lithuania. The 2 organizations have signed a memorandum of understanding facilitated by the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA. The agreement aims to boost cooperation between national anti-doping bodies with a focus on intelligence gathering, investigations, and education. It is one of 3 new partnerships under WADA's initiative to create a network connecting Latin America, the Caribbean, and Europe. The other link, Ecuador with Serbia and Peru with Greece. WADA says the project is designed to build capacity across participating nations by sharing regional and global expertise. JADCO's Executive Director, June Spence Jarrett, called the agreement with Lithuania a major milestone for Jamaica, noting it will enhance intelligence-led investigations and expand anti-doping education.
JADCO is proud to join this WADA-supported network that encourages cross-regional cooperation and innovation. Partnerships like these are essential to building a stronger, more unified global anti-doping community.
She says the partnership underscores JADCO's commitment to transparency, fairness, and the long-term protection of clean sport.
Through this partnership, both organizations will share expertise, experience, and best practices which will enhance our ability to conduct intelligence-led investigations and deliver effective anti-doping education.
June Spence Jarrett. WADA will monitor the implementation of all 3 MOUs as the organizations participate in joint activities throughout the year, an effort that signals growing global unity in safeguarding the integrity of sport. I'm Alex Swiby, and that's your sport.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:21.
Doritos and KFC, cheesy delicious.
crunchy. New collaboration run the country. Doritos Zinger, hot and spicy. Doritos nacho cheese chips, cheddar cheese sauce. We not leave it. KFC with the extra crunch. The new Doritos Zinger, I want for lunch. The new KFC Doritos Zinger, the delicious combination of KFC's hot and spicy zinger and the irresistible flavor of Doritos. Available for a limited time. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the multi-link logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my multi-link?
SCL Jamaica Limited is having a big blowout sale. Up to 70% off on Milwaukee tools. From power drills to saws, their top-notch Milwaukee tools will handle any project with ease. Hurry to SCL Jamaica Limited at Block L, Sagicor Industrial Center, 7 Norman Road, or call 876-938-1397 for more details. Sale runs November 10 to 28. Terms and conditions apply. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, and welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Roby Ann Williams. A special one I go out to our friends over on our YouTube platform. Thank you. Thank you so very much for joining us. We want for you to weigh in live in the comment section on today's Public Opinion, and it has to do with a very strange incident that happened in St. Ann. The JPS is condemning what it describes as a shocking act of sabotage that plunged several St. Ann communities back into darkness shortly after crews had successfully restored power. Now, according to the company, teams conducting patrols discovered that a freshly planted utility pole had been deliberately cut at the base, causing it to topple. Now, I've seen the photos, and you can't tell me, say, no, somebody literally take the saw or take whatever it is that they used and cut it. Yeah? JPS says the criminal act carried out in Bonham District resulted in a sudden outage affecting the Bonham Hill housing scheme, Hand to Mouth, Refuge Hill, and the Lower White River substation, all of which had only just regained electricity following extensive restoration work. So you can imagine you're happy to get back light. And know this. So in Public Opinion, this evening, we're asking your reaction to the cutting down of the JPS utility pole in St. Ann. One would say a wickedness. Okay. On X, Sally Porteous is saying this was a cold, calculated act carried out by someone who has a motive. Bitcoin Educator Jamaica says it's a terrorist act. Yeah? And let me see if I can get Miss Sylvie. Miss Sylvie says this has to be someone of unsound mind. If not, we are in deep trouble. Yeah? On Instagram, Peterson is saying, sounds like politics. Residents wouldn't. It makes no sense that they would. Yeah? Willie Ryan Wilson saying, it's a darn disgrace, and it shows that not everyone in Jamaica is for the betterment of the country. The hoodlums responsible should be locked up. Can you imagine you're excited to get back light? You don't have light for all long, and then you get back light and then it's just gone, so just because of people. On our Facebook platform, your reaction to the cutting down of the JPS utility pole in St. Ann. Snap Twang say if it couldn't drop in at them head. Yeah? Oh boy. Michelle Bernard is saying the police needs to do an intensive investigation to find the culprit, charged, whomever is found, and the judge should put those person away for at least 5 years. I doubt it was done by one person. Yeah, Carlington saying he believes that it is politically motivated. Political violence, he says, comes in many different forms. The rhetoric which was fanning the flames of political violence leading up to the election is basically the same post-election, he says. Wayne Castle is saying him need the cat a 9. Okay. In a brown dog. Yeah, okay. Andre King is saying that no need a microscope to see that it was sabotage. Ian is saying community should not be connected until they bring the criminal in. Yeah. Beverly Barrett is saying, boy, I never believed Jamaican could have been so bitter. Bitter bad. Daniel McFarlane is saying, after Beryl last year, JPS installed a light post in the middle of my uncle's driveway on his property, which he was at the time constructing his house. When he reported it a couple days after he was not there while they put it up, they told him that he had to pay 900K. All right, so he's saying 900K to have it removed. Daniel is saying he's hoping that this is not a similar situation. Interesting there. Nadia Dockery is saying mental health is real, idle horse, follow key and bump to pound. First me I hear the proverbs there. Otasia is saying real mental health issues, while Audley Phillip is here telling us that is both deplorable and sickening. The act, both deplorable and sickening. There are people who are bent on seeing and making the disaster worse for citizens than it already is, and they would stop at nothing. Government need emergency powers to deal with such people in a manner that is befitting of the nonsense they do, because this is total nonsense. Yeah? A poll will just go up. Definitely sabotage indeed. Let me see if I can get to some of the comments on our YouTube. Lock up and charge for treason, says J. Ken. This is JK Engineering, is saying lock up and charge them. Yeah? They braced it in the direction they wanted it to fall, says I am special. Some of them dirty people here are enemy to the country, says Diane. Yeah? Let me see if I can. That person is one of them. Okay. Timothy is saying it's politically motivated. Facts also believe, saying worse if it's politics cause it. All right. Bad mind straight. Yeah, I'm seeing that comment in the chat. Let me see. On Facebook, still Philip Jackson is saying whoever has done this is a stock steering mad man or mad person and is influenced by a host of demons. Wow. Okay. Maury McCart saying this is a most dastardly act created against our people who are trying to recover from the worst hurricane to cross Jamaica's floor. Clifton is saying the heart of mankind is wicked. Legislation must define these attacks on our infrastructure as an act of terrorism, and the punishment in this case should be death by electrocution. And he says enough is enough. Yeah? If you're just joining us, we're inside the court of public opinion. The question we're putting to you, your reaction to the cutting down of the JPS utility pole in St. Anne. The Light and Power Company says that it was conducting patrols and it was a freshly planted utility pole, yeah, that had been deliberately cut at the base, causing it to topple. Monica Brown is saying all this is showing is that a large cadre of Jamaicans are so illiterate and ignorant that just thinking about it makes one's skin crawl. Let me see if I can get in a few more. They are in for this. Yeah, they are in for this, country says Novelet. Be prepared for them to do the same thing with the generators. Doreen is saying, look how me want light. Me only sorry, say it no fall pandem. And Net is saying, this is Neret rather, saying, I hope the company doesn't fix it until everywhere else get light. It's a shame. People always find a way to justify foolishness. Yeah? Wow. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. People want light and can't get light, and you get light, and all of a sudden the pole is cut at the base. Sabotage. Evidently so. Janine is saying, why would someone cut a pole that giving the community light? Yeah, George Elliott, it's obviously being perpetrated to delay a return to normalcy and in order to embarrass the government. Andrew believes him forget jungle justice, but we don't really, we advise against that. O'Neill Dennis is saying the person who did it should be arrested and charged. That's more likely. Annette Palmer saying that she can't understand why someone would do that and it's disturbing. Clearly someone with a painful mentality, says Christopher Isaacs. Yeah. And Janet Shakespeare says, leave that community for last. You see how them have, we think, all kind of manner of evil? Shame, shame, shame. Oh boy. Guys, that's all the time we have for Public Opinion. Thank you so much for participating. The Business Report is up next.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, industrial automation and control solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:32. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Robianne Williams. The Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprise MSME Alliance has welcomed the move by the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ, to launch an $11 billion program to assist small businesses recover from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. The DBJ program, titled M5, is expected to give businesses a boost as they resume commercial activity. It will offer loans of up to $50 million with a repayment period of 10 years. It's expected to target industries such as agriculture, manufacturing, distribution, and tourism. A grant program will also be established to boost resilience. Venezuela has banned 6 major international airlines from landing in the country after they failed to meet a 48-hour deadline to resume flights there. The airlines had temporarily suspended their routes into the capital after the U.S. warned of heightened military activity in the area. Angered by this, the Venezuelan government issued the carriers with an ultimatum that expired on Wednesday. While a number of smaller airlines continue to fly to Venezuela, thousands of passengers have been affected. And finally, in the currency markets, at the close of trading today, it cost 161 Jamaican dollars and 27 cents to buy $1 US, 212 Jamaican dollars and 64 cents to buy 1 British pound, and 114 Jamaican dollars and 78 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. That's the Business Report. I'm Robianne Williams. Good evening.
Outperform, outlast, guilty. We top performance, guilty. Jackama, reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Pan select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. Be 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
St. James, we're coming to you. This Friday, November 28th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Nationwide team continues our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series, broadcasting live from Anchovy High School and Cornwall College. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, reconnect with loved ones on air, and let Jamaica hear how St. James is standing strong, rebuilding together. We'll be on location distributing care packages with our partners, the National Health Fund and the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, providing free health screenings and assisting with filling prescriptions. And to you, our listeners, we're asking for donations of non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and solar-powered lights, items that bring comfort and hope to families rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Every donation counts. Every act of kindness matters. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by our partners, NHF, OPM, Petrojam, Airport Authority, LMH Publishing, Ministry of Health and Wellness, NSWMA, Phoenix Vision, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Campari Group, Region 4 of the Ministry of Education, Purity Bakery, Wisinco, Maxfield Bakery, Global Inc., Deja Resort, Pier 1, Bungalow Gems, and The Pinnacle, in partnership with the Chinese community of Montego Bay.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Alan Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity.
Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect, but we are all brethren and we're all committed to this piece of rock called Jamaica.
Too often, there are no safe spaces for men to explore the issues which are important to us.
Plus, most of the content out there about parenthood is produced by women, for women. So we think it is important that we be the change we want to see.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaican Dads with a Z.
And definitely join us here on Nationwide 90 FM every Thursday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m. for the Jamaican Dads podcast. It's a revolution in media.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us, and if you've been with us, for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. It's time for the nation's business. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
Now, the Ministry of Education is taking a decisive step towards safer and more resilient learning environment across Jamaica. In a major policy move, the ministry is introducing new, non-negotiable building standards that will apply to schools island-wide. These standards are expected to set a baseline for construction, renovation, and structural integrity, ensuring that every educational institution meets modern requirements for safety, durability, and disaster preparedness.
Well, this evening we're joined by the Minister of Education, that's Dana Morris-Dixon, who will walk us through the details of these new standards and what they will mean for students, teachers, and the wider sector. Good evening, Dr. Morris-Dixon.
Good evening, Minister.
How are you both?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. So talk to us about this new policy initiative. This is part of our effort now as a country to build climate resilient schools, I'm imagining.
Yes, it is. But the good thing is we started this before the hurricane. So we had a new set of building standards, and we've used the opportunity of the hurricane to have them validated by international partners. So we asked the World Bank to look at the new standards that we had set to ensure that they were robust enough. We think they're robust, but you always want to hear from someone else to evaluate it, because you don't want to just say your work is good. You want someone else to look at it and say, yes, indeed it is, or you should add this or take out that. But it is very, very important. I have over 500 schools, and these are between the infant schools, the primary schools, and high schools that have been damaged by the hurricane. And I have over 200 of those, like half of them, are severely damaged. It's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And so we have to ensure that our schools are resilient. And I'll give you an example of a school. So I went to Barrett Town primary school, primary and infant. And the primary school, their main block, the entire roof went. Everything was destroyed. All the books, all the desks, everything got destroyed. But on that same property, there was another building, which was the infant department, built by JSIF using the new standards, and not one problem with that building.
Oh.
It's intact, fully. Same compound.
So what is it about these standards that would be different from how we've done it in the past?
All right, so what's different is, remember, a lot of our schools were built in the 60s, especially our high schools, and many of the primary schools in the 60s and 70s. They were not built for the disasters of today. A lot of our schools, a lot of roofing and so on is, up to Cat 3. We're at Cat 5. And given what is happening environmentally, we expect that that's going to increase. So in terms of our schools, it's non-negotiable to do the roof with hurricane straps. There are many schools that have roofs that don't have hurricane straps. Where possible and where there is structural integrity, we're also going to be slabbing the roof as much as possible. We're also in the building standards looking at the quality of the work that's done. We're looking at ventilation issues, making sure that we reduce fire hazards. So it's a very far-ranging list of new requirements.
Yeah.
And the key thing is, and if you look at some of the schools that got damaged, the schools are doing their best and they're trying to have a new building. They want a new structure, a new classroom, and they build it as quickly as they can. But many of them fall apart in a hurricane. And so we have to ensure that all buildings, all of the classrooms are built to the standards that we have now articulated.
Yeah.
Minister, it's one thing to have the standards, though, but who will be responsible for ensuring those standards are met and maintained?
That's a good question. And so we have the National Education Trust that is responsible for the major building work that we do in our schools, so in terms of new construction and big renovations. But we have a building team in the ministry, and we have building officers in all of the regions, and their role is to ensure that contractors are doing the work to the standards that are required. That's their role. And so I know if I see a hurricane come again and the same thing that we fixed is not in place, then there will have to be consequences, right? So we have to monitor. We have to monitor the work that is being done. And we also have issued some guidance to schools, because some schools have alums who are very active and wanting to do a lot of work to support the school. And so we've said, when you're doing new work, you need to do it with the standards in place. We also now have a lot of donors who want to help us to rebuild schools. And we're doing the same thing. We are sharing the standards with them, and we are overseeing the work to ensure that it is being done to the standards.
And just an additional question to that. The standards, do they only apply to publicly funded institutions, or are these going to be non-negotiable across the entire education sector?
Well, we started with the publicly funded institutions, but the plan is to roll it out across the entire system. And I think a lot of schools really do. I don't think there's any school, even if it's a privately funded school, that wants to see damage to their schools. And there's so many of our private schools that have had extensive damage, and they're facing really high bills to get their plant back up. And so it's in their interest too, and they have also asked for the standards to be shared with them.
I mean, it's an excellent idea, Minister, especially since many of our public schools also function as shelters during these times of crises. So I'm happy to see this being put in place. But what about retrofitting those buildings that did not necessarily get damaged by Hurricane Melissa, but might require adherence to these standards going forward? Is there going to be an attempt to retrofit already existing structures?
that will happen over time. Right now, as you would appreciate, all the focus is on the West and getting our schools back up. But we already have on the book some projects to happen this year and next year that are related to other schools in the East. And so all retrofitting work, and remember, each year we do quite a bit of work in schools. So we sometimes have even up to 100 or more schools that we're working on and doing major work on in any academic year. So that work will be continuing, and they will be done to standard. So many of the schools that were programmed for work this year that aren't in the West, that work will still happen, but will have to happen to standard, and we'll check to make sure that they are up to the standards that we've now put in place.
And speaking about the West in terms of bringing that back, in terms of restoring those education facilities, isn't imposing these kind of standards at this time, isn't it going to slow down the restoration efforts a bit?
It will, and it may. The reality, though, is we have to do things right. And in my meeting with the principals from the West, I had a meeting with them, I believe it was last week, all the weeks run into one now, but they agreed with me. They want the work done properly. And they said, it's better we go a little bit slower and get it done properly, which is why the temporary structures are going to be very important. And so we've started to roll out tents, for example. So at Darlington Primary School, they got the first tent, and we have 13 other ones that are being done now. And we have another 90 that are coming in courtesy of UNICEF that will help us in terms of having some classroom space in especially the schools that have been badly damaged. And that gives us a little bit of time to start doing the work properly and to actually maybe add more to the scope of works, because that's important. The key thing is, at the end of this, we have to have resilient schools.
Yes. Let me ask you, Minister, because I understand that there have been reports following the hurricane that there's been theft of school equipment at some schools. Have you had those reports?
Yes, and it's very, very unfortunate. We had a principal today that was crying because she was ready to open school and went this morning and the school had been broken into. I've been to many schools after the hurricane, and I have seen evidence of the break-ins. The TVs that we had put into the classrooms to enhance learning, the smart television,
yes,
the computer labs, many of them have been broken into. Many of our TVs are missing. Water tanks have gone missing. Yes, a lot of things have gone missing. It's actually very sad because I'm here talking to you about the infrastructure, and we're already at about $15 billion in damage, and that we have to build back, the cost to build back. And now we're going to have to be adding in all these other things. And we're setting ourselves back because, we were really on this program of having our classrooms be a lot more modern. And now we're going to have to replace a lot of that. And we need to replace water tanks. It's quite disappointing. But I know the police is working actively to treat with it. The schools are an integral part of our communities, and I would urge everyone to really take care of our schools.
And on that same matter, Minister, does this not mean we need to really revisit this matter of securing the physical plans of education? I know the arrangements in terms of security for many of these institutions are sporadic at best, mostly left up to the individual institution itself. Shouldn't we have a plan in place in terms of a national policy for securing educational facilities?
So a lot more work has been done on securing the facilities. I mean, we have a fencing program, and in many instances, the ministry also pays for the security. But there are some schools that don't have. And we're going to have to work with the police force, with the communities, to look at what's the best approach. Because remember, the school is supposed to be an important part of the community. It's not really supposed to be locked away from the community. It's an important part of the community. And so we're going to have to figure out what's the best approach going forward, because these assets are for the children in the community.
Yes.
And we're going to have to figure it out and have a solution to it. I'm happy that the police are aware of it and they're working with us on trying to address the concerns we have, especially in the schools that have not opened, because they need extensive work. But it's a big challenge, and hopefully some of the principals will reach out to you and tell you of their concerns and what has happened since the hurricane.
Yeah. Dr. Dana Morris Dixon is the country's Minister of Education, Information, Youth, Skills. Yeah, do I have it all right? Yeah, that's all
Something
right?
like that.
Oh, something like that.
I think you forgot information.
No, I said information, man. A very busy minister. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate
thank you
it.
both. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. All right. So, Siobhan, listeners, a major development is unfolding now in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because it appears that Ralph Gonsalves, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, his 25-year run as Prime Minister of St. Vincent has come to an end.
No sixth term?
No. And the preliminary, we stress this is preliminary, the preliminary count seems to indicate that his party at this moment is only holding on to a single seat, that being the seat of the Prime Minister himself.
And for context, there are
15 seats. So the opposition is leading or has been declared the winner in 14 of the parliamentary seats. We spoke to Dr. Friday, the opposition leader, about 20 minutes ago, Siobhan, and he was optimistic that come tomorrow morning he will be Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We've also spoken to some Jamaicans who are on the ground, and the word coming is that the Ralph Gonsalves-led Labour Party in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, after 25 years, has been defeated. We're going to take the break. We're trying to make contact with Dr. Friday. We spoke to him just 20 minutes ago. He seemed to be indicating, yes, they were on track to win. And we're being told that in another few minutes, they should have the official results. But as it is now, the opposition leading or has been declared winner in 14 of the 15 parliamentary seats, a wipeout. Ralph Gonsalves currently holding on to his seat. We're going to take the break and come back with more from St. Vincent.
You take a better route. Become a mentor in the Ministry of Justice Child Diversion Program. To become a mentor, you must be a Jamaican citizen over 18 years old, literate, with at least a secondary level education, have at least 1 year working experience, be willing to volunteer for at least 1 year, and be non-partisan, confidential, and a person of integrity. Download the application form at moj.gov.jm and submit to any child diversion office island-wide. For more details, call the ministry at 888-JUSTICE. That is 888-587-8423. Help a youth take a better route. Join the Child Diversion Mentorship Program today.
With so much to do in one location, make Megamart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills. Fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy. All in one amazing location. My Megamart, the best value by far.
We in this together, hands on heart spread wide. We know things will get better, working side by side. We in this together, rebuilding homes and lives, no matter the weather. You are not alone.
Sagicor is contributing over 200 million to Jamaica's Hurricane Melissa recovery. We're also standing by our clients. If you're a client in need of support, call 888-SAGICOR.
Get ready, students! Get ready, parents! And and get ready, schools! From January to March 2026, Nationwide 90 FM is hitting the road again with the NNN School Tour, a fun, organized and interactive journey bringing excitement, energy and empowerment straight to your school under the theme Rise Up, Represent, Do It for Your Future.
You no getting nothing less than 98 when school open, me never avoid the gate.
This tour is all about motivating Jamaica's youth to dream big, take action, and own their future. Expect entertainment, inspiring messages, and engaging activities that challenge you to showcase your talents and potential. If you're a student with talent, come show us when the NNN School Tour comes to your school. Stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM for details on how to participate in the NNN School Tour. So get ready to rise up, represent, and do it for your future. St. James, we're coming to you. This Friday, November 28th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Nationwide team continues our Rebuilding Jamaica post-Melissa Relief OB series, broadcasting live from Anchovy High School and Cornwall College. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, reconnect with loved ones on air, and let Jamaica hear how St. James is standing strong, rebuilding it together. We'll be on location distributing care packages with our partners, the National Health Fund and the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, providing free health screenings and assisting with filling prescriptions. And to you, our listeners, we're asking for donations of non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and solar-powered lights, items that bring comfort and hope to families rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Every donation counts. Every act of kindness matters. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by our partners, NHF, OPM, Petrojam, Airport Authority, LMH Publishing, Ministry of Health and Wellness, NSWMA, Phoenix Vision, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Campari Group, Region 4 of the Ministry of Education, Purity Bakery, Wisinco, Maxfield Bakery, Global Inc., Deja Resort, Pier 1, Bungalow Gems, and The Pinnacle, in partnership with the Chinese community of Montego Bay.
It's Monday, get over your blues. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The E-Zone is here for you. With the Stinger Honeybee
and Curry Boyatings
from 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
We've got your entertainment news.
Then we want to hear your views. Why you say?
Jump in the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss our brainbusters.
Or the crazy giveaways.
Let's talk fashion.
Send us your outfit of the day. Ooh, cutesy. Very demure.
Are you looking for love?
Come on one of our blind dates. Send your request to ezoneblindates@gmail.com. That's ezoneblindates@gmail.com.
And stay tuned for your confessions.
These are my confessions. Share them with us at ezoneconfessions@yahoo.com. I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bugger thing.
Ow! Ow!
It's 7 o'clock here in Kingston, Jamaica, and it's 8 o'clock in Kingstown, yeah? St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where it appears that Ralph Gonsalves, his party, has been defeated after 25 years in government. We have some video emerging from St. Vincent that we want to show you. Listeners, if you're on air, if you're on radio, you should head on over to Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. This is video coming out of St. Vincent. Opposition supporters in a jubilant mood because they believe they have defeated the veteran politician Ralph Gonsalves. We have with us Laverne King. Laverne? Laverne?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hey, Laverne. Just remind me, what's your role in the opposition party?
Public Relations Officer.
Public Relations Officer. And what is happening now, Laverne?
We're at our party headquarters in a very celebratory mood. The New Democratic Party preliminary seems to have won 11 out of the 15 seats. We're waiting on official words, but we definitely know that we have won the elections here in St. Vincent and Grenadines.
So your number's 11 of the 15.
At this time, that is what we are seeing, but I would conservatively hold on the official announcement, but that is what we're looking at this time.
And what do you think, Laverne, has powered this victory?
I tell you, we have an amazing meeting, Dr. Godwin Friday, and the truth is, the greed of the Gonzalez administration got to a tipping point. The people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines were ready for a change, and Dr. Friday has been leading the charge. When he became the party president ahead of the 2020 election, it was a massive transition. He learned his lessons then, and I can say from working very closely with him that Dr. Friday stayed on the ground from 2020 all the way to 2025, and he ensured that he did the groundwork. He spoke to the people, and he got a slate of candidates that people wanted. And the reality of it is this: Gonzalez is an expired politician. You see, people are tired, and I think it's people in fact that when your time is done, you should pack up and go and have a happy retirement. The people of St. Vincent and Grenadines got tired of this type of mere dictatorship like the way of governance, and they're ready for a breath of fresh air in the country.
And tell me, Laverne, what is the mood there at your party's headquarters in terms of the members?
Let me let you have a quick word. I'm actually here with one of our candidates, who is Laverne Gibson-Bellop, who has defeated Camilo Gonzalez, which is the son of Prime Minister Gonzalez, and I could allow her to say something.
Yes, because that's the finance minister, right?
Hello, yes, he's the son of the Prime Minister.
And he up to tonight he has been the finance minister.
And he was the heir apparent, but apparently we have defeated him, and we will not have a dynasty in this country. Ethan George has come home to the NDP, and I'm just so happy.
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
I'm afterwards, actually.
Yeah. And how did you manage to pull this off tonight?
It was 5 years of hard work. It's 5 years of... But he made it kind of easy by being an absentee representative. He wasn't there for the people, and I capitalized on that. So it worked well for me.
And we understand we have journalist Kenton Chance on as well. Kenton, are you there?
Yes, I am here, and I'm updating my Facebook page because some of this information is news to me. I just wrote breaking NDP PRO Laverne King. Oh, by the way, pardon my manners. Good evening to Jamaica.
Good evening, Kenton. So
I really love Jamaica. I love the food. The food there is wonderful. The people are wonderful too. So
and we return that love to you.
Post saying that the NDP has said that they've won 15 seats. Of course, we are waiting for the preliminary, the official, 11 of the 15 seats.
Yes.
Of course, we are waiting for the official results, but all indications are that the New Democratic Party has defeated Prime Minister Ralph Gonzalez. I have been a journalist for just over 20 years, and for my entire career, the only Prime Minister I've reported on is Prime Minister Gonzalez. And the elections today, I was telling a colleague, they are a headline writer's dream. The elections are being held on Thanksgiving Day, on a Thursday, and a man whose surname is Friday has defeated Prime Minister Gonzalez from all indications.
So it's
likely to be sworn in on a Friday.
Oh, so it's been a Good Friday on a Thursday.
Indeed, and it's also for the NDP supporters a Thanksgiving, because today is, in fact, Thanksgiving Day in the United States.
And you just said that for the entirety of your career, you've only covered one Prime Minister, Ralph Gonzalez. For Jamaicans who don't know what it's like on the ground in St. Vincent, talk to us about his time in office, how he has been able to hold on and consolidate power to become perhaps the longest-serving Prime Minister, if I'm not mistaken, in CARICOM.
Well, Prime Minister Gonzalez is a very astute Prime Minister. He's a very intelligent man, very widely read. He's well-spoken. He's very folksy. He's very charismatic. He knows how to relate to people. But as with most things in life, there just comes a time when people have had enough. And I think during the latter part of his time in office, the Prime Minister made some mistakes that really turned people against him, including the COVID-19 vaccine mandate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been just interesting to see it covered, and my phone is just ringing off the hook. It's very difficult to sort of concentrate.
Yeah, I understand. We understand.
It's been interesting to cover him, and maybe when things settle down a little, I can come on and talk to you in a way that where I'm more focused.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And we understand that. We're going to let you go back to your job because we understand it must be a monumental moment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm just getting a message, Siobhan, from St. Vincent, and it reads in all caps, it's a, quote, damn good Friday on a Thursday in St. Vincent. Do we still...
You appreciate that's not the kind of language that I, as a journalist, would use.
Absolutely. I understand that. Absolutely. But thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care. All the best.
Do we still have Laverne? Studio? Okay. So, by all indications, I mean, there's some discrepancy in terms of what the actual final result is. But it appears that Ralph Gonsalves has been defeated. We're going to take a break, and we're going to try to make contact with the State Minister of Education in Jamaica, or for Jamaica, Rhoda Moy Crawford. But she's in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, along with her campaign manager from Central Manchester. She says they are there to support their sister party, and it appears that has paid off. So we're going to try to make contact with Rhoda Moy Crawford after the break.
On October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa devastated Jamaica. But your government is mobilizing, reaching every community, delivering relief, and rebuilding together. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is...
It's 7:09.
Doritos and KFC, cheesy delicious, crunchy, new collaboration run the country. Doritos Zinger, hot and spicy. Doritos nacho cheese chips, cheddar cheese sauce. We not leave it. KFC with the extra crunch. The new Doritos Zinger, I want for lunch. The new KFC Doritos Zinger, the delicious combination of KFC's hot and spicy zinger and the irresistible flavor of Doritos. Available for a limited time. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Alan Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity.
Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect, but we are all brethren and we're all committed to this piece of rock called Jamaica.
Too often, there are no safe spaces for men to explore the issues which are important to us.
Plus, most of the content out there about parenthood is produced by women, for women. So we think it is important that we be the change we want to see.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaican Dads with a Z.
And definitely join us here on Nationwide 90 FM every Thursday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m. for the Jamaican Dads podcast. It's a revolution in media.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you. Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
It's 12 minutes after 7 here in Kingston, Jamaica, 12 minutes after 8 in Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where a major political development is unfolding. Dr. Goodwin Friday's New Democratic Party is on track to defeat the Unity Labour Party led by Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Ralph Gonsalves has been at the helm of government in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for 25 years. As you heard from the journalist Kenton, who we just spoke to, he said for his entire career, 2 decades, he's been a journalist, and he has only covered one prime minister. We're turning now to our own Cliff Hughes for a perspective on how it is, because in Jamaica, we have had no such comparable incumbency, and the last one we had, which was 18 and a half years, the People's National Party, 25 years, Ralph Gonsalves has been Prime Minister. Cliff Hughes.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening to the listeners. A big political moment for not only the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but for the wider Caribbean. One, I think it signals that the most potent political dynamic in politics is change and hope, optimism. That's what people tend to vote for all over the world. Change and hope. And the simple truth is Ralph Gonsalves overstayed his welcome. Yes, he overstayed it, and he did not know when to say goodbye. I visited St. Vincent and the Grenadines last year to do some training, and it was palpable. Yeah, people had grown tired of him, and it is a lesson for politicians in the wider Caribbean, including we here in Jamaica. After a certain time in office, just go. Don't make people kick you through the door. And that's what they've done to Ralph Gonsalves tonight. They've literally kicked him through the door.
Yeah.
If you have been following the campaign, he became embroiled in several physical scuffles on the campaign trail. And people are telling, you're old, you're tired. Go on, we're done with you.
And Cliff, please explain to those listening the kind of interconnectedness of Caribbean politics. As pointed out there, we have some people from the JLP on the campaign trail over in there trying to get the NDP across the finish line. And similarly, we had recently Ralph Gonsalves speaking on behalf of the PNP during our own national elections here at home.
Yes, for a number of decades in our politics, going back more than 30, 40 years. Remember now, the Caribbean came out of British colonialism, beginning with Jamaica in 1962, then Ghana in Trinidad and Tobago in 62 as well, Ghana in 66. And what came out of that independence move in the early 60s, mid-1960s, were a number of either left-leaning, liberal, socialist parties, workers' parties. So you had, for example, in Jamaica, the Jamaica Labour Party, as you have in St. Vincent, the St. Vincent Unity Labour Party, you had in Antigua, the Antigua Labour Party. But over time, Labour parties were not necessarily socialist parties in the Caribbean. Yeah? So you have, for example, the People's National Movement in Trinidad and Tobago, which tended to be left-leaning, but their politics was more Afro-based. So too in Ghana, where you had the Burnham Party or the People's National Congress, and then you had the Trinidadian Party of the People's Political Party, which was more left-leaning. So it's not a straight line down the middle. But what it produced was a relationship where the PNP, for example, had fraternal relationships with the Barbados Labour Party, in Barbados, which is now Mia Mottley's party. And so too, in St. Vincent, the Unity Labour Party has fraternal relationships and relations, personal and otherwise, with Barbados Labour Party. And in Trinidad, the Indo-dominated United National Congress of Prime Minister Kamla Persad has tended to drift towards the new Democratic Party in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, coming from their founding father, Sir James Mitchell. When they gained independence at the end of the 1970s, they established fraternal relations with the UNC. And, there's been a big political scuffle between the UNC, led by Kamla Persad Bissessar, against Ralph Gonsalves' Unity Labour Party over some land deals and sweetheart deals in Trinidad and Tobago. So, then there was the Caribbean Democratic Union, that Edward Seaga spearheaded in the 1970s, where like-minded parties like the Jamaica Labour Party, the more conservative parties, formed a Caribbean grouping called the Caribbean Democratic Union. So it had relationships with all of the parties, several parties throughout the Caribbean. So it's nothing new. The PNP has been down there to help Ralph Gonsalves. Ralph come up here and him help the PNP. That is well established.
And let's just give an update. The official information from the Electoral Authority in St. Vincent is that as at 8 o'clock, Dr. Goodwin Friday's party, the New Democratic Party, was leading in 12 of the 15 seats across the country. Ralph Gonsalves barely at this hour holding on to his own seat of North Central Wynwood. Cliff, another thing struck me was that, if I could just bring it here home for a second, Dr. Andrew Holness is one of only a few leaders in CARICOM who have survived what appeared to be an anti-incumbent wave that has swept this regional bloc post-COVID.
Absolutely correct, Ricardo, and that is a telling point. Why? The question has got to be why? Why is it only Holness and the Labour Party who have survived the post-pandemic electoral cycle? And I think it has to do with a combination of things. One, Holness delivered in managing Jamaica well through COVID. Two, he delivered on the economic side of the balance sheet when you're going into looking at the political calculus. Jamaica has performed well economically. The Jamaican people recognize that. Look at what he has achieved in crime management. And finally, thanks to PNP that was never really organized and focused, and they would have aided and abetted the victory of Holness on September 3. But it is a remarkable political achievement that Holness and the Labour Party were the only ones to survive. And that is why the PNP was so cock-a-hoop and confident that they were going to win. Because it was going against the trend. Incumbents were losing all over the world, except Narendra Modi in India.
Irfan Ali, of course, in Ghana also survived, but an extraordinary situation bolstered by oil wealth. That should have been expected. But the news, 21 minutes after 7, Ralph Gonsalves has been defeated. His party has been defeated in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I can't tell you how many messages I'm getting, Cliff, and apparently it's a coordinated message that it's Friday on a Thursday in St. Vincent.
Yes, and we don't know much about the new Prime Minister-elect, Dr. Godwin, Friday, except he took over the New Democratic Party in 2020, barely lost that election, and Ralph Gonsalves has been hammering away that, listen, questioning is loyalty to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because he's a Canadian citizen as well. Yes, he lived in Canada for a number of years and returned to St. Vincent and continues to hold Canadian citizenship. But under the Westminster British Parliamentary inherited Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you're allowed, so long as you hold foreign citizenship in a foreign country which is a member of the British
Commonwealth of Nations.
Just as it is here in Jamaica. But Ralph Gonsalves tried to make it an issue in this election, and it fell flat because Ralph was up against the tidal wave of change. And it's rather sad because Ralph is a nice guy. I've come to know him over the years, in my years in journalism. Very good man to interview. Always giving you an excellent sound bite. He's chummy. He's charismatic. But not knowing, falling prey to that disease, power intoxicates, and you don't know when to go.
And I suppose that's the final lesson, Cliff, in terms of the takeaway from this election and the others had over this cycle, that you really should know when it's your time to make an exit.
Yes. And you know, the devastation, the political devastation based on these results tonight, Ricardo Chevron, his heir apparent, his son, Camilio, the finance minister, who he was grooming, hoping that he would succeed him, was taken down. And taken down decisively by the woman you were speaking to, Laverne Velox. That is going to mean that Ralph may very well be the only one standing after the night is over. And possibly 2 or 3 others. And Kamala Prasad and the UNC in Trinidad are also smiling. Mia Mottley and her Barbados Labour Party will not be smiling. They sent a team into St. Vincent to help Ralph Gonsalves as well, as did Andrew Holness's Labour Party, sent a team led by Rhoda Moy Crawford and others to help Dr. Friday and his party.
And we have had word from the Prime Minister-elect, Dr. Friday. He joined us on Tuesday. He promised, Cliff, that he would join us again tonight. But as you can imagine, overwhelmed by emotion, he sends his apologies. He will not be able to join us. And as you can imagine, he should be receiving calls from all across the region. Mia Mottley will face the Barbadian electorate next year. She will have to face an election. Already there's talk about what she will do. I see whispers that she could perhaps throw her hat in the ring to become UN Secretary General. But she has also indicated she wants that 3rd term. And it will be interesting to see whether she can survive the wave of anti-incumbency. On Twitter, Matthew says to me, it's not anti-incumbent, it's anti-incompetent. And Holness simply wasn't incompetent.
That's a very, very incisive comment, because it may very well be correct. It's anti-incompetent. People want results. People want their governments to deliver for them. And I think that was what made a big difference between a JLP win and a PNP win on September 3rd.
And tell me, Cliff, in terms of the wider region, do you sense there's most likely going to be a realignment, so to speak, of CARICOM come the end of these elections?
Realignment? I'm not sure what you mean. But in terms of the elections that are due, elections matter, but we're such a small region. When people fight elections and you have your favorites, at the end of it, whoever wins, their neighbors will get on.
Cliff?
Oh dear. I think we lost Cliff.
We lost Cliff. Cliff sharing with us perspectives on the state of Caribbean politics. Major political earthquake in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, Prime Minister for 25 years. I keep saying it because it's so unbelievable that somebody could be at the helm of a democratic country for so long. His party has been defeated. He's barely now holding on to his own seat.
I'm just saying, in terms of his length of stay, he's been the Prime Minister as long as I've been politically conscious, so to speak. And there's been no other Prime Minister there, in my knowledge, other than Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. It's an interesting development going forward, and we will see how things take us into next year in terms of what that may potentially mean for the last incumbent, that being Mia Mottley over there in Barbados.
Yeah. Cliff, final thoughts?
Yes. Final thoughts. I think we should not be surprised by the results. She has been following the politics in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it's not complex. Ralph Gonsalves did not produce the goods that could command of the people of St. Vincent, them sticking with him for another 5 years. Crime was a problem. Unemployment was a problem. Yes? Social capital in the country was being depleted. Trust and confidence was being eroded. And that, I think, did him in. Time. People needed a change.
So that was it. So there's no secret sauce. It just comes down to the same bread and butter issues as always.
Exactly. And overstaying your welcome. 25 years?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Cliff Hughes, the veteran, and as the YouTubers are saying, boy, he love the politics, sir. He does. He does.
I know it.
I knows it. It's 28 minutes after 7. We're going to take a break, and after the break, we'll take your calls. We're still standing by to join Rhoda Moy Crawford, the Jamaican State Minister of Education. She is leading the JLP's delegation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, lending support to their sister party. And it appears it's paid off. The numbers 630-937-124, 618-6730. Come chat with us.
The Answer Select Your Discount sale. Up to 50% off when you select your discount at Answers Gifts and Home and Answers for Children. Select your discount sale at Answers now until Sunday, December 14, 2025.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis, weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
St. James, we're coming to you. This Friday, November 28th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Nationwide team continues our Rebuilding Jamaica post-Melissa Relief OB series, broadcasting live from Anchovy High School and Cornwall College. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, reconnect with loved ones on air, and let Jamaica hear how St. James is standing strong, rebuilding together. We'll be on location distributing care packages with our partners, the National Health Fund and the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, providing free health screenings and assisting with filling prescriptions. And And to you, our listeners, we're asking for donations of non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and solar-powered lights. Items that bring comfort and hope to families rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Every donation counts. Every act of kindness matters. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by our partners, NHF, OPM, Petrojam, Airport Authority, LMH Publishing, Ministry of Health and Wellness, NSWMA, Phoenix Vision, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Campari Group, Region 4 of the Ministry of Education, Purity Bakery, Wisinko, Maxfield Bakery, Global Inc., Deja Resort, Pier 1, Bungalow Gems, and The Pinnacle in partnership with the Chinese community of Montego Bay.
We're taking your calls now here on Nationwide at 5 in the final stretch. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
And Alaric is on the line. Alaric.
Hey, Siobhan. Hey, Ricardo.
How are you?
I'm good. But, how are you, Siobhan?
I'm all right, Alaric.
All right. The people on YouTube must understand it's not that Cliff really loves the politics, but apart from that, Cliff is good at what he does. And I hope he's not listening because I really want him head kind of sweat.
He enjoys what he does and he's good at what he does. I'm sure the two are linked in many ways.
And Cliff understands what's going on. And Cliff does his homework. But Ricardo, the other night you were speaking with the leader of the opposition. And you actually predicted it because the signs were there, 25 years?
Yes. That is, and it's...
think about packing the bank when you can't be leading 25 years.
Yeah.
Outplay your time by at least 10 years, man.
That's an entire generation.
You hear what Siobhan said, when him grew up the moment of my yearbook.
Yeah.
When him become attuned to politics. So in our same time, him get irrelevant, and then him bringing him son, a groom him son to take over from him. That is almost a no.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good look.
It's not a good look, and the wave that is going through the Caribbean, the Guyanese president survived because of the oil boom.
Mm-hmm.
And the oldness has survived because he has delivered the goods after COVID, and he delivered the goods after burial. So that alone has Cliff say, when you produce that sort of performance, you will survive.
Yes.
Because the election cycle in Jamaica, that was telling you that apart from PJ parties, everybody else had 2 terms and you're gone.
And let us also say something and say it very frankly. A lot of left-leaning politicians, they talk a good talk. They give a good speech, but they do not walk the walk. They don't have the courage and strength of their convictions.
You are getting very good.
No, I mean, but it's true. It's true. If you think about a lot of the left-leaning leaders on the world stage, yeah, man, they talk it up and it sounds good. And when you
the economy usually is their Achilles heel.
Precisely. When you check how they're actually managing the affairs of their country, it's sad to say it's not going well. It's not going well, and it's why, and I have to say this, it's why there's so many Jamaicans, especially online, who like to play this game where they talk about who is, quote, Prime Minister of the Caribbean. And they disparage and they put down our own Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. But if reasonable people assess his record against the record of any of his colleagues across CARICOM, he stands head and shoulders above them. It's just the truth. It's just the truth.
And we haven't discovered oil yet.
And we have not. No, it's true. And these are things that must be spoken because some of these left-leaning leaders who have not delivered, they're propped up by civil society groups. They're propped up by people who think like them. Their ideological
legacy beliefs.
Friends. Yes. And it is time. And I think I mean, knock on wood. I think the people of the region are waking up to that. that they have been, certainly people of our generation, are waking up to the fact that the good talk, the pretty talk, it doesn't get us very far.
I mean, it's what causes a pragmatic change in a society.
Absolutely.
People of our generation going forward, this notion of ideology, this almost binding covenant with the beliefs of the past, it doesn't fly anymore.
I've heard Cliff put it this way: what have you done for me lately? So I hear that, I hear the pretty talk, but what have you done for me lately?
That is why I said to you guys last night that when you corner Andrew Holness, he's most dangerous and he has delivered.
Yeah.
Gonzalez has not been delivering. He moved at the same time, and there's a drastic shift in this region. And the only two who are going to survive is Andrew Holness and the Guyanese president. Matley's going to go in.
You think? Well, I'm less certain about that because the opposition in Barbados is weak, very, very weak. But we'll see. All right, guys. Thanks, Alric.
And as I said, Shaban and you guys, you always make we have to listen to you in the night. Ricardo?
Yes.
You're getting good.
Thank you, Alric. My friend Omalo is online. Omalo.
Good evening, Ricardo.
Good evening, my friend. How are you?
Good evening, Siobhan. Ricardo, I heard you last night talking about your first time on the radio.
Yes.
On the morning program.
Yes.
And you never mentioned me none at all in the comments that
were
there encouraging you.
Oh, I never see it. I'm sorry, Omalo.
No, man, you see it and big me up many a times, man.
No, man, remember now, I'm talking specifically of the very first broadcast, So I know, man, over time, of course, in fact,
even when you and Sanjay was on and all these type of things.
Yes.
And the first time you do Cliff show.
Yes, that I remember. Yes, man, that I remember, Omalo. You're a general, man.
Yeah, man, I always did it for you, brother.
So, because you can't treat me as good, Omalo? How come you always have a war with me when you come on, Omalo?
No, we just have different in opinions.
There you go.
Different in opinions. We just challenge each other's thoughts, yeah? That's just basically what it is.
Yeah? All right, well, I understand.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, when listening to this democracy and run, the dude was a failure, man. He never delivered to the people what the people want.
Yes.
And based on you don't deliver to the people, it doesn't matter how long you stay there, that makes it a democracy or not,
Yeah.
It's what you deliver to the people.
Yeah. I think that's a fair point because I've also said to myself, I don't know if I agree, or it's probably why I don't agree with term limits necessarily, but then I realize the contradiction. But there is a thing to be said for if you're delivering, should you just change for the sake of change? Yeah, for change for its own sake. I don't think I've quite come to a position on that. But I agree with you that it has to be about delivering for people.
Yeah, because election cannot be about democracy. And we must look deep into what democracy means.
Yes.
Yeah? And not just a process of voting.
Mm-hmm.
Democracy is the representation of the people's will.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
To make it into policy, to serve them.
Absolutely.
Not just to go to the poll and vote.
That is true.
You understand me? So when we really, some of the times, be talking about democracy as giving the people as a right to choose. I can have two persons to choose between, what they call a democracy. And two of them is a dictator after them get the power. They use it in that way.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have to be very careful of what we term as democracy. And always remember democracy represents the people's will. In terms of policies and laws, that is what we give them the power to do, to put our will, the will of we inside laws and policy so that it can move us forward.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
Well said, Omalo.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
630-9371 to 618-6730. Cleveland is next. Cleveland.
Yes, Mr. Ricardo. Did I do you anything?
No, Cleveland. What do you mean?
No.
Oh.
And Savannah, how you do?
I'm all right, Cleveland. How are you?
Not bad. Mr. Gonzalez should have gone a long time. He was in the thing properly at all. to say things changing around him.
Yes.
At his age.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And the young people them over there to where a young prime minister doing in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And they want some prosperity to come to them there too. And the whole style they keep going. Right?
Yes.
So the changes should be good for St. Vincent.
I mean, let's not say that Mr. Godwin Friday is going to have a very easy run of it. You know, that country has some structural issues that he's going to have to tackle, or he could find himself out at the end of his term.
And one of the challenges you see, Cleveland, after such a long incumbency and then people sweep you into power, there's a lot of hope, you know, and usually there's a lot of pressure. Yes, a lot of pressure. So, yeah, it's going to be hard, but he's won.
Ricardo and Siobhan, I don't know what happened to our people here, you know.
What happened?
Can you imagine somebody who deliberately cut the light pole?
Boy,
I don't even want to think about it.
It upset me. It upset me, Cleveland. We have to have some laws we treat them something very, very, very seriously.
And when they want to think me saying politics, they say, no, that is where the opposition must come out and condemn these things.
Yeah.
They mustn't just lay silent on it.
Yeah.
Because
it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense to me.
People is the same people and we run after them and support them.
Yeah.
Right? They need to say something.
Yeah.
Right? But I was reading on social media. Sometimes, you know, you read some of the things. And this girl, her name.
Don't call her name.
Well, her name, Zidi Z.
Okay.
Or what's she name? Or whatever. She's saying some things where I wonder if she has sense. What is educated? Is a educated girl?
I don't know who that is. Let me tell you something, Cleveland. I have curated my social media space because I realize that the level of dunceness that is out there, it just
No, sir. It's bad, man.
Sometimes
social media is empowering in very much the wrong ways sometimes.
She's giving those people who pay attention to her that like if the government should have built up back to Jamaica already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she passing all sorts of remarks make it look as if Mr. Holness or the government we must make them give account for what money them spend on all those things. What money could have spent what money could have spent? I wonder if they realize the damage that we have here in Jamaica to get straightened out. I wonder if those people understand that. I look like they want the government to give everybody money. And think that will help.
But I mean, on that same topic, you know, I am surprised to hear that so far we have not spent a dime of any of the relief support that we've received. But essentially what we've dipped into is our own pockets, and that is in a way commendable, because I was shocked when I heard that stated by the Prime Minister.
Then these two people, so-called people, said they are journalists. We work on TV and something. Go there with them mother itself at the press conference at Jamaica House. What happened to these two people while they got there and taking over the press briefing? Why they don't ban them from it?
No,
man, they need to be banned because they are political propaganda.
No, Cleveland, no. You wouldn't want this country to get into to that kind of a thing of banning journalists.
There was two specialists.
And as a journalist who has been blacklisted, Cleveland.
They're not doing journalism.
As a journalist who has been blacklisted, Cleveland, I could not support something like that. Not at all.
They're not doing journalist work at all. They just go there to propagandize and talk for the PMP. And I noticed if one of the coma here.
All views was content, Cleveland.
No, Cleveland.
And sometimes it's best just to hear what people are saying so you can actually counter it. So you don't want them to cultivate those arguments in the dark.
Those people should be setting better example and a proper understanding of how governments run. And
here is where I will agree with you, Cleveland. I am concerned about, and I was tempted to ask the information minister about it just now, but I say, you know what, let me not. But I am concerned about what seems to me and it seems to me, it could be coincidence, but that I will see a talking point emerge from particular quarters, people who are known activists.
Yes.
And then I will see journalists elevating those talking points, which are entirely baseless, and putting them to the minister for a response. That bothers me. The specter, let me put it that way, of coordination is a little uncomfortable.
It's called a sounding.
And I'm not saying it's deliberate, and I'm not saying it's intentional, but it does come across that way sometimes, and that bothers me. But apart from that, let the journalists do them work. Later, Cleveland.
I noticed that some of them bringing those civil society people really gone underground during the election time and so.
All of them I don't know. I don't know that the people went underground. Goodbye, Cleveland.
All
right. 630-937124, 618-6730, North Trelawney. Oh, so East Central and North.
Yeah, man. Good evening.
Good evening, North Trelawney.
Yeah, man. We have a really show I want to come with, so we have to come on the program. First time caller.
Okay, all right. Let's hear it.
Yeah, man. You know, say, with the water issue, we have a great problem here. Because we have a little spring or it broke out and it get lower now.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And we badly need the water because 10,000 for a drum of water, we can't afford that. Yeah, man.
Where in North Trelawney is this?
It's not really North Trelawney, you know, St. James, you know, but you just call myself.
Oh, so East Central decides he might give somebody else the phone tonight?
Yeah, man. Me find him myself and I go look for him because I really want to come on the program.
Okay.
Because this thing needs address. It needs to address now.
Yes.
So where in St.
James?
East Central, St. James.
Oh, it's okay.
It's Edmund Bartlett away.
Which community specifically?
Dumfries and
Adelphi.
Division same way.
Okay, and you have no water?
No water, and the little spring we have now get low.
Okay, so you're appealing to the NWC. I think East Central did bring this to our attention. I think it was earlier this week or last week, that you need a generator. That's the problem, right?
If we get a generator, because we see that work already.
Yeah.
When they come from drench the well and upgrade the well, they have a generator there, they run we around 3 weeks when they flush it out.
Yes.
And they have security guard there that guard the generator and no one steal nothing from it. So we know it can work.
Okay. Well, NWC, Minister Bartlett, councillors, who else have generator? Energy Minister Daryl Vaz.
Them promise to them they don't do that, so we don't see nobody say nothing to us.
Okay. If you can help the people of Dumfries and Adelphi, that's it, right? Those are the communities?
Yeah, man. It can get rough even to go. All right, we have a little river when I run to go a mobile down Adelphi way. You get low down right now where you gone right down. So we sure say that by next week, we don't know what we will turn to.
Yeah, not going to have no water, and especially because of the outbreak of lepta, you need the water.
Yes. Some of the water start get contaminated right now.
Yes, I understand.
Me go mobile today and me pass a water down where people are going. I say, no, man.
Yes.
They're not ready for that.
I understand. NWC, if you can help the people of Dumfries and Adelphi, they just need a generator, they say, to get the pump up and running.
We're not worried about the lights to bright up the place. We just want water.
Just want water.
All right, getting a jug of water here now from what they might give out. You get one little angry jug of water.
Yes.
You have 2 children at your home.
Yes.
You self-conscious, your girlfriend. That's not enough, man. I'm more direct case them have right now. The money now 2/3.
I understand.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. We've heard you, and they've heard you, and I hope you can get some assistance for the people of the communities. All right.
Hello.
Yes, East Central.
Mr. Ricardo.
I am here.
I wanted to speak on the matter concern the public administration speaking in relation to bags that I know give out where they said that 4 to 5 days a family of 4 would be receiving bags. I have not seen that where in the community where I reside. So I am now wondering if that was a standard procedure or choosing community to get back between 5 to 4 days of a family of 4. Is that a standard process for choosing community, or community is not choosing, they just go through and deliver. And if it is
I think I heard that the communities were being selected in coordination with the parish disaster committee, is my recollection. I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, so is it my community as selected under that disaster committee, or they hasn't reached to my community as it?
Oh, you're saying your community has not received any?
Based on the information that the gentleman passed on when he was at the Public Accounts Committee, I haven't seen that on the ground. He can speak from a paper point of view, but that's not the reality on the ground.
All right, so we're running out of time, essential, but here's what again, you have to try to reach out to the Member of Parliament and the councillors, because we can't do anything from here except to allow you to hear the issue, but you should bring it to the attention of the MP so that he can pass it on to ODPEM to make sure, as you say, that what they have on paper is actually being executed on the ground.
Yeah, because it's reality, because I know my neighbors, Mr. Ricardo, I am not saying that I does not receive back enough.
Oh, you've gotten, okay.
Yes, please, but...
Oh, so they have been in the community?
I had only, when I reach Adelphi and me pass the palm work, I might see the soldiers the issue, and I stop and get a bag. That's just the reality of it.
But so hold on, but what I'm trying to understand is that in the community that you saw the soldiers?
No, not my community.
Okay.
The next community.
Okay.
I'm stop and get a bag. But in general terms, he had indicated that turnaround time for residents of 4 to 5 families receive a bag of 5 days turnaround time. Right? This Monday you get a bag, by Saturday you get another bag. Yeah.
All right.
Not the reality.
Okay. All right, Essential. Hear you. Thank you for the call, as always, my brother.
Yes, please.
O'Neill, good evening.
Yes.
O'Neill?
Yes. Last week you learned an important piece of issue. Huh?
Come again?
Last week you learned that Belvedere was an horse racing place, huh?
Last week what?
You learned that Belvedere in Westmoreland was a horse racing place, you know?
Okay, I recall that discussion, yes.
Yes, because I spoke to a crew and you told me that back in the 60s and 70s, horse racing was really alive in Belvedere, and Belvedere was really a lively place, you know? But well, I was expecting that thing would have been unknown about getting in touch with Judith crew, but it wasn't, you know?
I don't think I'm following you, O'Neill. You say you expected what?
No, last week I did send a request that hopefully I'll get in touch with Judith crew.
To who? To which group?
Judith.
Judith's group.
Yes.
Okay.
What happened?
I might not be following. What discussion are you referencing, O'Neill? I don't.
Okay, last week, remember I told you that I gave George's producer my number, and you told me that you have to confirm it with George.
Okay, all right. So here's what you do then. Hold the line for me. Hold the line for me, and just talk to our producer and explain to him the problem. All right, and we'll see what we can do. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, O'Neill. All right. Yeah, we can wrap. No, that's the time we have. Anybody else? O'Neill? Damien? No, okay.
Nobody else on the line.
Before I go, I want to say thank you to Marigold, Siobhan, because last night, Marigold from YouTube, last night was my grandmother's night, and I went home, and guess who was at home? Having a soup.
So Marigold treated you to soup.
Marigold was at home before me. So, thank you for the support, Marigold. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I can confirm that Marigold gives excellent hugs, Siobhan, in case you ever need a hug.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that under advisement.
There you go. Damien Scarlett was our producer tonight. Thank you very much, sir. Job well done. Damien Cunningham is the man behind the controls. Thank you, sir. All our callers, contributors, sponsors, YouTubers, all on you. Big up on yourself. And of course, our colleagues in the newsroom, we appreciate you all so very much. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell. Again, it has been an honor and a privilege.
St. James, we're coming to you. This Friday, November 28th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Nationwide team continues our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series, broadcasting live from Anchovy High School and Cornwall College. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, reconnect with loved ones on air, and let Jamaica hear how St. James is standing strong, rebuilding it together. We'll be on location distributing care packages with our partners, the National Health Fund and the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, providing free health screenings and assisting with filling of prescriptions. And to you, our listeners, we're asking for donations of non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and solar-powered lights, items that bring comfort and hope to families rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Every donation counts. Every act of kindness matters. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by our partners, NHF, OPM, Petrojam, Airport Authority, LMH Publishing, Ministry of Health and Wellness, NSWMA, Phoenix Vision, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Campari Group, Region 4 of the Ministry of Education, Purity Bakery, Wisinco, Maxfield Bakery, Global Inc., Deja Resort, Pier 1, Bungalow Gems, and The Pinnacle in partnership with the Chinese community of Montego Bay.
It's Monday, get over your blues. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The E-Zone is here for you. With the Stinger Honey Bee
and Karim Boyatings
from 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
We've got your entertainment news.
Then we want to hear your views. Why you say?
Jump in the mix.
Or the hot seat.
Don't miss our brain busters.
Or the crazy giveaways.
Let's talk fashion.
Send us your outfit of the day. Ooh, cutesy. Very demure.
Are you looking for love?
Come on one of our blind dates. Send your request to ezoneblindates@gmail.com. That's ezoneblindates@gmail.com.
And stay tuned for your confessions.
These are my confessions. Share them with us at ezoneconfessions@yahoo.com. I mean, is this planet Earth?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Either way, it's got a buzz.
And a bugger thing.
Ow! Ow!
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Marlon Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays